The following is a presentation of Yankton Bucks football on KYNT and KYN-TV. Bucks football on KYNT is brought to you in part by One Office Solution, Explorers Credit Union, Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Fox Stop, America's Best Realty, Floor Tech, Midwest Insurance, Graham Tire, Stockman's Motorsports, Sherco, Gernsner Oil, Vision Real Estate, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General, Mason Schramm and the Move Group, Hy-Vee, Olson's Pest Technicians, Dakota Beverage, Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance, Buell's Cleaners, and First Chiropractic Centers. Now it's time to go live to the field with Brayden Butler and Josh Boelter for Yankton Bucks football on KYNT and KYN-TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton, South Dakota. It is the penultimate game of the 2025 regular season for both these teams as the Yankton Bucks host the T-Area Titans in a Class 11 AA feature tonight here in Yankton. I'm Brayden Butler, joined by Josh Boelter, as always, here on the station. And we are live from the Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express in the Yankton broadcast booth. Get great rates and flexible reservation changes if you call either hotel direct. Big thing tonight, Josh, to keep an eye on. One, obviously, outside of the field of play itself, this is a huge matchup in the Class 11 AA standings. We'll talk more about those later on, but this is two of the top teams in the class right now trying to secure top two seeds that can lead to hosting all the way to the Dome, potentially, for both of these squads. But another big thing here is it is senior night. This is the last time that a large group of seniors for the Yankton Bucks will suit up on Crane Youngworth Field, or the last guaranteed time. This is a good chance they could host a playoff game. But senior night is always a little more special out here at Crane Youngworth Field.
Yeah, senior night, and like you said, big game here between the Bucks and the Titans. And, you know, it's one of those where, like you said, seed standings and all that stuff on the line. Looking very likely, if Yankton, if they can take care of business tonight, probably looking at a top two seed. But they got to do that first against a T team that's 5-2, just like the Bucks are.
We'll be calling a lot of these names throughout the night tonight, but seniors on this year's squad include Owen Eidsness, Carter Boomsma, Easton Feeser, Talon Kenny, Tate Bestie, Edley Amaro, Cale Hazelhorst, Abe O'Brien, Gavin Johnson, Braylon Hoover, Jay Sedlacek, Brennan Gilmore, Jolton Reimnitz-Hahn, Kylan O'Connor, Kevin Ortiz, Chase Platt, Jose Martinez, Riley Mortensen, Drace Gaskins, Austin Stotes, Jose Renneria, Peyton Eustace, Jacob Bivens, William Rounds, and last but not least, William Guzman Yagofsky. For those keeping count at home, that is 25 seniors for this Yankton Bucks team.
Yeah, a lot of seniors on this team. We've talked about this in the past. It's a lot of seniors who haven't necessarily gotten a chance to play before this year, so it's pretty cool that a lot of those guys have gotten more chances this year and done really well with those chances, and just another really good senior class here for Yankton.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun tonight, these two teams matching up. It's always a surprisingly high-scoring affair as of late when these two teams meet. We'll get into that kind of right now in our matchup breakdown here. As looking at how Yankton and T match up, the Bucks 5-2 overall, the Titans 5-2 overall as well. Yankton 4-0 at home, T 3-0 on the road. So one of those will have a 1 in the loss column by the end of the night tonight. When you flip it, T's only 2-2 at home, so the unfriendly confines for them in their home stadium, and 1-2 on the road are the Bucks. The 11 AA media polls coming out this week. Yankton jumped from 4th to 2nd, T inside the top 5 as well. But mentioning recent matchups, it always feels like a surprisingly high-scoring affair, considering T's offensive style. Outside of last year's game, which Yankton handled 28-7, you had 33-25 and 37-26 in 2023, which were all three of those games Yankton wins that I mentioned, and then two T wins since 2021, 38-28 in 2022 and 35-28 in 2021. So it's always a hotly contested matchup between these two teams. Yankton leads the series since 2021, 3 wins to 2 losses T trying to make it a 500 series here in recent history.
Yeah, and this has been, since T's came up to 11 AA, a competitive rivalry. You look at it, back when Rugby Riken was the quarterback, a competitive playoff game there. T gets out to a big lead, and Yankton falls just short in that one. And then just 2 years ago here at Crane, a chance to go to the Dome between these two teams, and Yankton comes out close in that one. Really competitive matchups between these two teams, and in the playoffs especially. You've really seen that, so I'm looking forward to another part and another chapter to that rivalry here tonight.
Obviously, this is the first time these two teams have met this year. You only meet each team once in the regular season, but two very different games, similar games, different outcomes for both these teams last week. Yankton, a 14-7 win over Brookings. We'll go over that in a little bit later on. And then T Area, a 15-7 loss to Watertown. We'll get more in the weeds on both of those games when we come back with your Friday Night Rewind. But this is Yankton Bucks football here on KYNT and KYN TV. Before we go to break, I want to thank a couple of our sportscaster partners helping make this broadcast possible, including America's Best Realty. If you're ready to stop renting and start owning, whether you're looking to upgrade or buy your first home, America's Best Realty is here to help you unlock the American dream. Call them today at 260-1600. And Elwood Family Dental Care, where they take care of the entire family and are always welcoming new patients. Also, thanks to Kaiser Heating and Cooling. When it comes to heating and cooling, be wiser and go with Kaiser. Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. They're located at 808 West 23rd Street. Your Friday Night Rewind when we come back, taking a look at last week's games for both these teams. Back in a couple minutes. This is Yankton Bucks football, KYNT, KYN TV.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer is the perfect treat. Brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
The Boathouse is for everyone. Axe throwing, mini bowling, shuffleboard, beanbag, golf, pool, and darts. Plus awesome food and drinks with lots of cold craft beers and other beverages. Some say the Boathouse is the most fun you can have on land. Trivia on Tuesday nights, music bingo on Wednesdays with live music on Friday night. This is downtown Yankton's fun gathering place for all ages. If you can't be on the boat or at a Bucks or Gazelles game, then it's the Boathouse.
Want to take the hassle out of servicing your heating or cooling system? Then sign up for the Kaiser Signature Membership Program. This is Chris Frick with Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Not only will you get peace of mind knowing your units are being serviced regularly, but being a Kaiser Signature member gives you priority service, a discount on parts and labor, and no overtime rates. Take comfort and let our qualified professional technicians keep you running.
Be the wiser and go with Kaiser. Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Credit union people are my people. Dreaming big, keeping life simple. Saving smart, living free. At Explorers Credit Union, you're just like me. We chart new trails, we stand tall. Together we rise, together we call. Credit union people are my people, it's true. And I found my crew at Explorers CU. Federal journey today.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYNTV. We're going to keep talking about tonight, but we're going to flash back to last week. Rewind to last week, if you will. It's your Friday Night Rewind brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling. They're in Yankton and Vermilion. Starting with how Yankton looked last week against the Brookings Bobcats. Josh, uncharacteristically low-scoring game. And I say uncharacteristic because Yankton averaging nearly 30 a game this year as a team. So they're usually a high-scoring affair, but 14-7 win for them. Tate Bestie under 100 yards passing, Jason Logic under 100 yards rushing. It really was defense and special teams that led the way last week.
Yeah, it was an old school, grinded out Big Ten West type of game. Nebraska fans, Iowa fans out there watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about here, and it really was. And you mentioned special teams stepping up big. Liam Villanueva had a great game. We'll talk about him in a little bit. He was so part of our Buck in the Headline interview this week. And then, Kevin Ortiz making a couple big field goals in this game as well. And, it was just one of those. We talked about it last week. Brookings had one first down in the first half, and then all of a sudden their first drive of the second half, almost 10 minutes off the clock, go down the field, run the ball every play, and score. Yankton, after that, kind of bowed up and didn't allow anything else. But, yeah, it was a really interesting, grinded-out defensive game, and Yankton was able to come out on top of that. And at the end of the day, it didn't necessarily look pretty, but they're still up in the win column, and they're still sitting there in the standings in second place at 5-2, and that's what matters at the end of it. No matter how pretty it looks or how many points you score, as long as you win, you win.
They don't ask how, Josh. They ask how many.
Yeah, exactly. Stack them up.
And last week is a one that you don't want people to ask how, but sometimes ugly wins are better than losing. That is what it is at the end of the day. Looking at some stat leaders, you can see them on your screen on KYNTV. We talked about Tate and Jace already. Owen Eisnes had 5 catches, the lone touchdown of the game for Yankton as well in the receiving department. Easton Fieser was the defensive leader, 7 tackles, 1 of those for loss and 2 pass breakups. And then Kevin Ortiz, as you mentioned, Josh, 2 for 2 on field goals, long of 39 yards, and that, which I believe is his season long now as well. So getting near that 40-yard mark. And field goals were the difference in the Watertown T-Area game last week. T-Area lost that one 15-7 to Watertown. Titans quarterback Mitch Grant finished 5 for 15, 44 yards passing, 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions. He had 11 carries for 15 yards. The rushing game couldn't really get going for T. Carter Brown was the leading rusher, 6 carries for 30 yards for him. But I guess the big thing for the Titans in that game last week, no touchdowns allowed, but Watertown decided to go 5 for 6 on field goals, including a 42-yarder, which was the longest field goal of the game there to end up taking that 15-7 win.
Yeah, it's one of those special teams. We saw it here last week, and like you said, we saw it in the Watertown T game last week. It's a weapon. If you're effective on special teams, it really can change a game. And if you're going 5 for 6 on field goals, I don't care what level you're at. That's impressive, and that's a really good day at the office. And was enough to get it done for Watertown last week.
If anybody's got the Watertown kicker in your 11 AA high school fantasy league, he got you a lot of points last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a lot of Yankton offensive players in that. It was a bad week for me. Just kidding. We don't have a fantasy league, guys. We do, but at the NFL level.
Not yet. We're developing.
I had T. Higgins on my bench last night. I'm sad.
I did not. I had him on my starting lineup.
It's not looking good for your boy. That's all I'll say about that.
What's wrong with the aging gunslingers going and throwing the ball a little bit?
Yeah. No, that was good. I have them. I have too many leagues going on. The gunslingers were good. The problem is nothing else I had going was good.
Quarterbacks had a combined age of 82, and they almost put up that many points.
Yes, they did. Think we'll see 82 points tonight? I don't know. These defenses are pretty good.
And these offenses like to score against each other. So at the end of the day, anything can happen. It should be fun tonight here at Crane Youngworth Field. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to look more in-depth at the T-Area season in your rival report. After that, we're talking to senior punter Liam Villanueva in your Buck in the Headlight interview, and then your head coach pregame interview with Brady Muth coming up as well. All that coming up back to back to back here on KYNT and KYN TV. He's Josh Boelter. I'm Brayden Butler. We're back with your Rival Report in a couple minutes.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. At the UPS store in Yankton, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, now through November 11th, along with Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome, or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
In Yankton, community means everything, and at Wilson Trailer, it's the heart of what they do. They're more than manufacturers, they're your neighbors. From sponsoring the Bucks and Gazelles to supporting the next generation of farmers and builders, they're proud to give back to the place they call home. For over a century, Wilson Trailer has stood strong, steady, and rooted in community. Because when Yankton thrives, we all move forward. Wilson Trailer in Yankton. Learn more at wilsontrailer.com.
Are you on track to retire? I'm Adam Boelter, a certified financial planner with Vantage Financial, born and raised in Yankton, South Dakota. My team and I pride ourselves on building trust through clear, honest advice tailored to your unique goals. From retirement planning to smart tax strategies, we'll create a personalized plan to help you feel confident and secure about your financial future. Visit vfplanning.com or search Adam Boelter, Vantage Financial, to schedule a 15-minute call today.
Vantage Financial Partners is a registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of Vantage by the SEC, nor does it indicate that Vantage has attained a particular level of skill or ability.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
At Mead Lumber of Yankton, we're more than building materials. We're your partner in every project. From your first sketch to your final nail, we're here with expert advice, quality products, and hometown service you can count on. For over 100 years, we've been proud to build homes, businesses, and dreams with you right here in our community. Stop in and see what makes Mead Lumber the trusted name in building. Mead Lumber of Yankton, helping you build, helping you grow, from design to finish.
Welcome in here on KYNT and KYN TV. It's your Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee with a helpful smile in every aisle. It's time for your Rival Report as we take a look in at the season so far for the T area Titans. It's week 8, so there's a lot to go over for T. We'll start things off with their overall record this season. The 5-2 Titans, how they got there. It started with a 22-14 win over Spearfish in week 1, and then a 25-7 road victory over to Aberdeen Central in week 2. In week 3, it's the only time the T offense has been shut out this season. A 16-0 loss to Huron, a Tigers team who's been dominant since their season opening loss to Yankton back in August. Week 4, T bounced back with a 38-6 win over Douglas, then a 26-20 win over the Mitchell Colonels on the road at Joe Quintal Field. T returned home the next 2 weeks, a 20-0 win over Brookings on October 3rd, but last week, the second stumble of the season for the Titans, a 15-7 loss to the defending state champion Watertown Arrows. Looking at the T stats on the season, starting with their team statistics, the offense is averaging 19.7 points per game, but the Titans defense allowing 11.1. On the season, T is averaging 251 yards of total offense per game, predominantly via the rushing attack, 183.1 yards per game on the ground, 12 rushing touchdowns. T has ran the ball 274 times this season over their 7 games so far. It's a run-heavy offense. I made the comment earlier this week when I was talking to head coach Brady Muth. This T offense feels like it steps out of a time capsule at times with how more and more spread and wide open offenses are getting in 11 AA. T area sticks to what works, and it works well for the Titans. That's not to say they don't throw the ball ever. T has 481 yards passing this year, 68.7 yards per game, and their quarterback, Mitch Grant, on the year has completed just over 42% of his passes for 5 touchdowns, 386 yards through the air for him. Leading receiver has been Griffin Wiebinga, 18 catches, 289 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So that's over 25% of the time when he gets a catch, it's going for 6. So that's something that Yankton needs to keep an eye on tonight. Mitch Grant, also the leading rusher for this T area team at the quarterback spot, 462 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. He's followed by Cade Kurleski, 334 yards rushing for 3 touchdowns. Defensively for the Titans, Emmett DeGeest leads the way. 44 tackles, 6 for loss for DeGeest. He's followed closely by Carter Brown, 43 tackles for him, 9 of those for loss, 1 sack. And a couple of sack masters for this T-area Titans defense. Hayden Bialis has 38 tackles, 6 sacks, 14 TFLs. And Chase DeBoer, 34 tackles for him, 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. Those are 2 guys that Yankton is going to need to keep an eye on today. All in all, this is a T-area Titans team that likes to control the ball and control the clock. Yankton's offense is not going to have as many opportunities as they used to, if T has their way in this one. Average time of possession on the year for the Titans is 25 minutes per game, and they've had over 30 minutes of possession in a 48-minute game multiple times this season. Should be a good one tonight. Yankton Bucks, T-area Titans. This has been your Rival Report, a look in at T on their season. We're going to take a break, come back in a couple minutes to keep things rolling here on the Hy-Vee pregame show.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tycro in Yankton today.
The perfect place to get together with friends and family and watch the game and enjoy some of the best wings in town is Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Checkers is open every day, and on Monday nights, the action gets even better. Cheer on Monday Night Football with $6 cheeseburgers and fries, plus play bingo and your chance to win great prizes. From mouth-watering wings to juicy burgers and stacked sandwiches, Checkers Sports Bar and Grill is Yankton's favorite destination for food, friends, and game day fun. Your game days belong at Checkers. Have a large group or event that you'd like to offer clothing for? JJ Benji's can make you look good. Instead of you taking orders, collecting money, and then delivering the clothing, let JJ Benji's handle it all. JJ Benji's will create an online store with the merchandise you want to offer. People order, pay, and then JJ Benji's will ship it. You just provide a link or QR code to the online store, and that's it. Contact JJ Benji's in Yankton for more information.
I'm Colby Cookta, one of your Yankton Edward Jones financial advisors. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles on KYNT.
Call 605-653-4860 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs.
I'm Colby Cookta, financial advisor Edward Jones Yankton, member SIPC.
Mount Marty is committed to excellence in nursing.
We really go the extra mile to care for our students as a whole person. My name is Crystal Diedrichson. I am an associate professor of nursing at Mount Marty. As a Catholic Benedictine university, we can incorporate God and prayer in our regular classwork and interactions with students. And in addition to that, we care about the students in other aspects of their lives.
Start your journey at mountmarty.edu.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Olson Pest Technicians can treat and cure them. Right now, they can provide grain fumigation on the farm and do one-shots for homes to keep pests out for the winter. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KIL-BUGS.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury, check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation. Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet. From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Now located on Summit Street across from the high school.
Do you struggle with dry contacts? At Vision Care Associates, we have a great option. Infused contact lenses by Bosch & Lomb. Infused lenses are designed to ensure that your eyes stay hydrated and irritation-free, even after a full day of wear. Our doctors specialize in fitting these lenses for maximum comfort and optimal vision. Schedule your consultation and experience the all-day comfort and crisp, clear vision you deserve.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back in here for your Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee, with a helpful smile in every aisle. It's time for your Buck in the Headlight interview, and we're talking special teams this week. We're talking to the punter, Liam Villanueva, also the kickoff specialist for this Yankton squad, talking about his goals on special teams and how special teams could play a factor this week against the T-Area Titans. Let's go to the interview now. Liam, how are you feeling after a 14-7 win over Brookings where special teams really played a factor in that one?
Felt great. I'm glad me and Kevin especially can show what we got and help the team out as much as we can.
We'll start on the kickoff side of things for you. When did you really, I guess just in general, when did you start kicking and punting? Is that something you've been doing through the program for a while or picked up recently?
I mean, I recently started junior year because sophomore year I was a guard, and I decided I just wanted to focus on kicking and see where that takes me, and it was a great decision.
You know, on the kickoffs, you had one opening kick against Brookings, bounces perfectly about the 4-yard line. The Bobcats thought it was going in the end zone. That's something that we've seen in the punting game for you as well. So what do you do in that moment to really focus on trying to get that ball to stick where it lands?
Honestly, I try kicking it high and seeing if it'll bounce and get bounced back up, and I hope. I had a few on Friday that kept rolling in the end zone that I wasn't very proud of, but the other two I felt really good about.
I think the touchbacks you're mentioning on Friday, a couple touchbacks on punt, but went back through the special team stats earlier this week preparing for this interview. Those are your only touchbacks of the year that we saw on KYTV, maybe one or two earlier, but it's something where you've been really, really good at keeping that ball out of the end zone and pinning the other team back deep. How important is that, and how obviously your coach has got to be happy with that as well?
It's very important. It helps give the defense a great spot to start at and try to stop them, and puts them in a very hard spot to get out of.
I want to talk about your coaching staff real quick, specifically special teams coordinator Brady Hale. What's it like having a guy like Hale who not only kicked at Yankton, but then went and played college football, was a kicker and punter there as well at South Dakota State? What's it like having that wealth of knowledge to kind of bounce things off of?
It's amazing. It's great to have someone there that knows what he's talking about and can help you through the situations that you need to be helped with and make you the best you could possibly be.
One last question here for you, Liam. It's actually more in the field goal end of things. We haven't seen you attempt many field goals this year, but Coach Hale has mentioned that you kind of are that long-range guy if you want to try to get something from long way out. I believe it was a 47-yarder you almost hit earlier this year. So what's your kicking range? Have you tested that out on the field?
I have. In practice, my PR is a 55.
We going to see that one get busted out this week?
I don't know. Maybe.
I lied a little bit. One more question here. T area on Friday. What do you guys got to do to beat a Titans team that likes to control the ball? So field position is going to be important.
Yeah, special teams, we're going to work on getting them in between, on the sky punts in between the 20 and trying to work on no touchbacks this week.
Big thank you to Liam for taking time earlier this week to talk to me at Bucs football practice. Good luck to him and the rest of the Bucs this evening against the T area Titans. When we come back for break, we're going to keep things going here on the Hy-Vee pregame show, counting down the minutes to kickoff between the Titans and the Bucs.
Sherco, the industry leader in tarping, has done it again with the release of the all-new Sherlock E-Series electric tarp. The E-Series features fully assembled front and rear arm, a pre-wired sealed control box, and Sherco's exclusive smart wire sealed harness for quick and easy installation. Operate the E-Series with the SureLink EZR remote or by your smartphone using the SureLink app. Add more time to your day with the Sherlock E-Series. To learn more, contact your authorized Sherco distributor or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best. Demand Sherco.
When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Sports injuries can happen quickly, posing threats to your health and ability to participate in your regular athletic activities. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Chiropractic care can provide pain relief from sore and aching muscles and lead to faster recovery after workout by easing the inflammation you experience, like stiffness, pain, or restricted movement. Visit with us about managing your sports injuries. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Larry's is having a duct cleaning sale. Not duck, duct, D-U-C-T. Right now, have your ducts cleaned by Larry's Heating and Cooling by November 14th, and you'll get a 20% discount. With winter coming up, now is a great time to clean out the dust and allergens in your vents. Save 20%. Call Larry's now and schedule your duct cleaning by November 14th. Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermilion.
I am John Marquardt, and I'm running for District 18 State Representative. I'm currently chair of the Yankton County Commission. I was born and raised in rural South Dakota and have an ag business background. I am a conservative that fights to keep taxes low, supports law enforcement, and I'll look out for the best interests of District 18.
Vote for John Marquardt for District 18 State Representative in the Republican primary, paid for by friends of John Marquardt.
It's game time. Under the lights, in the stands, or out on the field, Prime Energy powers Yankton Pride. Every can packs bold flavor and clean energy. No sugar crash, no nonsense. With electrolytes for hydration, B vitamins for focus, and performance you can feel. Prime helps you push harder, go longer, and stay sharp. Refresh, refuel, and rise with Prime Energy. Great taste, smart fuel, next level energy, and proud to power our Bucks and Gazelles.
At Elwood Family Dental Care, they believe patients should understand their treatment, not just receive it. That's why they show you x-rays and photos, explain the why, and keep you informed every step of the way. They treat patients of all ages and especially love caring for kids. Most pediatric treatments are done right in the office, trying to limit trips out of town. So come see Elwood Family Dental Care today, located at 19th and Broadway, where they take care of the entire family.
Attention everyone. Health insurance open enrollment on the marketplace is happening now, November 1st to December 15th. This is your chance to review your plan, explore new options, and make sure you and your family have the coverage you need for the year ahead. Call me, Jen Great, with Missouri River Associates today. I can help you navigate the marketplace and find the plan that fits your needs. 665-6885. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYN-TV. It's time for your pregame coach interview, brought to you by 1919 Root Beer, the creamiest full-bodied draft root beer available. It's at convenience stores, grocery stores, and on tap at area restaurants. Today's coach interview comes from earlier this week at Bucks football practice. Got a chance to talk to head coach Brayden Muth about last week's win over the Brookings Bobcats, tough win for Yankton, and how that translates to this week's game against T. Let's go to that interview now. Coach Muth, tough, hard-fought victory last week, 14-7, lowest scoring affair of the whole season so far, and it could be that way again this week against T. But how are you feeling after a big win last week?
I mean, it was a win that we had, like we talked in the pregame last week. You had to be tough enough and mentally tough enough to take your shots when you could get them. And to Brookings' credit, defensively, they're dropping 8 guys in coverage, and they could take care of things with their front, with their defensive line and their linebackers. And we've got to be better at handling those situations. But I think we did enough to win. It was complimentary football. We scored points when we needed to, and we got the points when we needed to. I thought our defense played a heck of a game. They really had one, really, really good drive, but for the most part, we kept them pretty quiet. And so, it was good for our guys, for our coaching staff to get into a game where points were going to be at a premium, and you had to find a way to win.
Special teams maybe doesn't always get the love that it deserves, but really played a factor last week. Liam Villanueva, kickoffs and punts. I don't think Brookings, their average starting field position was around their own 20 all night long. And then also Kevin Ortiz, a couple field goals. So talk about the special teams unit.
Huge. And I think sometimes people sometimes get led astray that special teams are an X factor, or it's something that you don't game plan for, but you better. And, I think our guys do a really great job of special teams. I think Coach Hale's best special teams coach in the state. Our guys execute well. He teaches them the right way to do things. They get on the field and they do it. And so, all those things, like I said, those are great, but especially where we're at in the season, it's really, really important right now because you got to be playing. Everything has to be at the top of its game.
Back-to-back weeks now against 2 different defenses, but 2 of the best defenses in terms of limiting the other team's points in 11 AA. I believe Brookings was second in fewest points allowed, T with the least. You mentioned earlier they're going to be more aggressive, though, this week than you saw from Brookings last week. How is that going to look for them?
Yeah, it's a different style of defense. It's the same thing. I mean, it's a tough, hard physical defense, but they do it differently. They're much more aggressive. They'll play, a lot of times with just one safety over the top, and there will be situations where there will be no safety over the top. And so they really challenge you to beat a man on man, and where Brookings keeps everything kind of under a shell and in front of them, T just tries to beat you man on man. And so we've got to win those 1v1 matchups. That's what this game is going to be. I mean, our offensive line has to beat their defensive line man on man, and it's going to be the same thing with defense, when we're on defense. And so I think that, it's a tough, challenging game, but it's a game we need to get us ready for the playoffs.
It feels like across the state, more modern styles of offenses are being implemented, and then the Titans step out of a time capsule every Friday night. How are you and your staff keeping your defense disciplined to stay in their lanes against a potential triple option?
It's a lot of repetition, whether it's pulling a guard because there's some wing elements to what they do as well, or triple option. It's going to be challenging, and it's assignment football. And that's, when we talk about just beating your man, that lends itself to playing assignment football. You've got to beat your guy in your gap and take care of your responsibility. And outside of that, just do your 1/11th. I mean, so it's a challenge for sure because you don't see a whole lot of triple option. And we've struggled with that. We've struggled with an 8. Power read that Sturgis was running is essentially veer, just in the 21st century. And so it's been something that we've had to work at. We've been diligent about it, and we hope we got a good game plan ready for it.
And then you're coming down to the end of your regular season. This is your second to last game, last time in front of your home fans in the regular season. What's it going to be like running out on Crane Youngworth Field and wrapping up the regular season at home?
Yeah, to our seniors, that place is really, really special. I mean, there's a connection between the people that come through the program and get to play there, and there's a connection with that place, and guys really value that place, and they call it home for a reason. It's much more than just a football field for our guys. And so I'm sure, especially leading up to it, there will be some emotions, but once the gun goes off and it's kicked off, it's go time, and everybody's focused, and we've got a job to do.
Big thanks to head coach Brayden Muth, as always, for taking time out of his day to talk to us here at KYNT and KYN-TV. That was your pregame coach interview, once again brought to you by 1919 Root Beer. We're going to keep things rolling here on the Hy-Vee pregame show when we come back in a couple minutes.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. Work with someone who knows the ins and outs. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and with 20 years of experience, I will focus on the details while providing marketing knowledge, advice on staging, and negotiating to get your home sold. From start to finish, I'll guide you through the process, making sure nothing is overlooked. Call me, Deb Speck, Vision Real Estate, 605-664-5555.
If it's time to review the look of the signage of your business, let Mayor Signs help. They offer all types of signs, including exterior and interior signage, fleet wraps, digital signs, and much more. They also do logo creation and vehicle wraps. Their technicians arrive on site, fully equipped to get the installation done with quality workmanship. With the latest tools and technology, Mayor Signs provides high-quality installation service for any sign. Contact Mayor Signs today on 4th and Broadway in Yankton.
Moody Motors in Nyborough has some really nice trucks that are ready for immediate delivery. This is a really nice looking 2022 F-150 Lariat with only 23,000 miles, and it's on sale for $46,900. Check out this one owner 2024 F-150 with only 36,000 miles for $44,900. Also just in is the 2019 F-150 Platinum. These and so many more are found right here at Moody Motors in Nyborough.
You're in the mood for Moody.
Boston Shoes to Boots is your locally owned family shoe store located in downtown Yankton on Cedar Street. We offer the service and quality product to fit the whole family. Whether you're in the market for athletics, dress, casual, or work, come shop with us 6 days a week or shop online all the time at bostonshoestoboots.com. Try out our foot scanner and get fitted for insoles. Happy feet keep you healthy and on the move. Boston Shoes to Boots is proud to support Yankton High School athletics.
Looking for your next unforgettable vacation? Enter Yankton Thrive's Great Yankton Adventure Giveaway. You could win a free vacation packed with overnight stays, local dining, and even a guided fishing experience on the beautiful Missouri River, a total value of over $3,000. It's easy to enter and totally free. Head to our website, visit yanktonsd.com, and follow the giveaway link. Don't miss your chance to experience the best of Yankton. Explore more, adventure often, visit Yankton.
Car troubles never happen at a convenient time. Whether you find yourself with a flat tire, dead battery, breakdown, or in an accident, call Gary's Towing. They've been helping drivers in the Yankton area for over 50 years with light, medium, and heavy towing. Family owned and operated Gary's Towing is the name you can count on, day or night. Call Gary, Mike, or Mason at 605-665-4351. Gary's Towing, where experience means reliability.
I'm Jason Orr, the new owner of FloorTech. If you're not familiar with FloorTech, we specialize in water, fire, and smoke damage mitigation and restoration. Also carpet and duct cleaning. If you do know FloorTech, you know we've proudly served the Southeast South Dakota and Northeast Nebraska regions for over 30 years, with locations in Yankton, Mitchell, and Pierce. Our experienced team will continue to tackle any water-related disaster or cleaning need, because when your home or floor is wet, call FloorTech. Find them on Facebook or on the web at FloorTech Restoration.
Big things are happening at Parker of Yankton. With 2 new production lines coming soon, we're growing and hiring. We're looking for a product and a mechanical engineer, material handlers, line operation techs, and assemblers for both first and second shift. We offer paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, quarterly profit sharing, 401k match, and a fully paid retirement income account. If you want to work with a team that's building the future right here in Yankton, now's the time. Competitive pay, benefits, and room to grow. Apply today at parker.com/careers.
Parker, engineering your success.
Welcome back here live on KYNC and KYN-TV. Big thank you to Liam Villanueva as our Buck in the Headlight interview this week. And, of course, thanks to Brady Muth, always making time to talk to us here at KYNT and KYN-TV. It's time to look into the stats between these two teams. Your Stats in Focus brought to you by Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. And looking at both these teams, and I want to give a big thank you to Pete Roberts. He keeps all the stats for T area. Very in-depth stats for them. Honestly, more in-depth than we're able to keep for Yankton at times. So big thanks to him. But 2,269 yards of total offense for the Bucks. That's 324.1 yards per game. They are on the other side of things. It's 1,763 yards of total offense, 251.9 yards per game for T. Some individual stat leaders. Tate Bestie has just under 1,400 yards passing, 14 touchdowns to 4 picks. Owen Eidsness is leading receiver, 48 catches, 671 yards, 10 touchdowns. That is quite the resume at the receiver position already this year, Josh.
Yeah, he's been great, and we even I was talking about it in the we were talking about earlier. Even in games where it's defensive battle like it was last week, he's still going to get his with 40 yards and a touchdown last week. He's been awesome all year. Like you said, 10 touchdowns, and hoping to add to that tonight.
Jay Sedlacek, the leading rusher for Yankton, 138 carries for him, 4.4 yards per carry to the tune of 613 yards and 4 scores. Chase Platt's the leading tackler for the Bucs, 45 tackles, 1.5 for loss, 1 interception, and 1 pass breakup. Cale Hazelhorst is the team leader in interceptions. He's got 4 of those, 4 pass breakups, and 2 of those picks have been returned for 6. He's also got 36 tackles. And kind of I don't want to say unsung hero because we've given him praise before, but a guy who's a jack of all trades and has mastered several of them is Gavin Johnson in this defense. 33 tackles, 4.5 for loss, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, and 2 pick sixes. Gavin Johnson at that apex rover spot has been all over the place for this defense.
Yeah, he's all over the place, and he's been great. When anywhere you want, if you want to give him to TFL, he can do that. If you want a sack, he can do that. Pass breakups. I mean, anything you want on the field, and he's been awesome. It's been a big week for him. He just announced that he's going to Mount Marty as well for baseball, correct?
Yeah. I do remember that on Twitter. So congrats to him, whatever they call it now. But congrats to him for that. He's a great catcher for Post 12 and the high school team this past year, and his senior season coming up this spring and summer. So excited to see him back out there for another time. But looking across the way at the T-area Titans now. They don't like to pass the ball too much, but Griffin Wiebiga is their leading receiver when they go to him. 18 catches, 5 of those have been touchdowns. So almost over a quarter of the time he catches the ball, it ends up in the end zone, Josh, for the tune of 289 yards for him as well. I already mentioned it. He doesn't like to throw the football, but when they do, he's the first read.
Yeah, and a lot of that, at least in the past against Yankton, when they have success in the pass game, it's play action out of some of those option things. But like you said, you're going to see more of a traditional, old school triple option style offense here tonight from T. Think 90s Nebraska. Think 2000, not at the same level, but like 2010s Georgia Tech under Paul Johnson, things like that. You're going to see triple option tonight, where as long as Yankton can stay in their lanes and keep an eye on those pitch options and handoff options out of that, I think they'll be okay defensively. But stopping that run is going to be big tonight. Keep an eye on the triple option.
Defensive side of the ball for T, Emmett DeGeest, only a sophomore, leads the way in tackles with 44, 6 of them for loss. And then a couple of guys on the edges that Yankton is going to need to keep an eye on tonight. Number 51, Chase DeBoer, the 6'4", 230-pound senior, 34 tackles, 8 for loss, and 5 sacks. And somehow he is not the team leader in TFLs or sacks. That belongs to Hayden Belis. Belis, 38 tackles, 14 for loss, 6 sacks from the other end spot. Those two guys are going to need to be guarded up pretty well tonight, especially if Yankton wants to drop back and try to get this passing game going like they have most of the season.
Yeah, and that's why T's been one of the top defenses in 11 AA this year, and right up there with everything, because those guys get it done on the front lines. I mean, you look at Vilas and DeBoer, they get things done up front, and they're looking to do that again tonight. And we'll see if Yankton's up to the test with that.
That's your Stats in Focus here, brought to you by Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. Now it's time for your standings review, brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. The Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. At the top of the class right now, 6-1 overall, the Huron Tigers. Nipping at their heels, though, are the Yankton Bucks. Over 1.5 points back, though, so Huron has really separated themselves. The Tigers went out, basically guaranteed the number 1 spot, even with the algorithm sometimes doing things we don't expect. Yankton at the 2, Pierre at the 3, with T-Area in 4th. So this could be one of those matchups we see at some point in the playoffs between Yankton and T as well. Because if Yankton wins this game, T might drop below Spearfish. That could be a second-round matchup. If T wins the game, they could basically flip places with Yankton and move things around.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see there. But like you mentioned, that full point ahead, Yankton has some good space there on Pierre. If they can just take care of business and handle their own thing, I think they'll kind of be locked into that 2 seed. Like I said, as long as they're able to take care of business tonight and then next week against Mitchell. But yeah, the top of 11 AA right now is really interesting. 1 through 5 really can make a move, or looking at it here.
And that 5 is Spearfish, who has been impressive this season for the Spartans out west. Sturgis Brown 6th, Watertown 7th with Brookings in 8th. 3 teams on the outside looking into the postseason right now. Aberdeen Central, who started the season rough but has got a couple wins on their belt here recently. Mitchell in 10th, and then Douglas in 11th at 0-7 to round out your 11 AA standings. As we talk about it every year, Josh, it's kind of a running joke in the office sometimes. The Aberdeen Central starts the season slow, loses like 2, 3, maybe their first 4 games even, and then they're there at the end of the year. They're a team you don't really want to play in the playoffs. They're going to need to string together wins these last 2 weeks if they want to jump ahead of Brookings or Watertown at the bottom of the class right now. And it's going to be a tough sledding. Sioux Falls Lincoln this week for Aberdeen Central, but they do have Watertown next week in what could be a big game in the AA standings.
Yeah, it could be a big game there at the very end, and you look at it for a team like Watertown as well, looking at their schedule, not necessarily easy either. Sturgis this week, we've seen what they can do, obviously, against the Bucks this season as well, and then Aberdeen next week, like you said, and that could be a big game. Maybe potentially if things work the way, you'll see maybe one of those teams who might get that 7 or 8 or something like that. Could be potential first-round opponents for the Bucks if they end up in the 7th.
We're going to take a break here on KYNT and KYN TV. When we come back in 3 minutes, we'll have your starting lineups here at Crane Youngworth Field. Back in 3 minutes.
Do you have a storage unit? Isn't it a pain to go back and forth to it? Well, with Quality Storage Buildings, you can have a storage unit right in your own backyard. And instead of sending someone else rent, use their monthly rent-to-own program. Choose from storage options like sheds, garages, or containers. Buy pre-built or design your own building with their 3D builder. See the Quality Storage Buildings inventory in Yankton, Wagner, Freeman, Sioux Center, O'Neill, or Norfolk, or online at QualityStorageBuildings.com.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Core Trust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from Core Trust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC. Feeling like your energy's taken a time out? Do you suffer from poor sleep, joint pain, irritability, hot flashes, or brain fog? It's time for your comeback. At Glow Aesthetics Med Spa, our Bio-T hormone replacement therapy can help restore energy, balance, and vitality, so you can feel your best anywhere life takes you. It starts with a simple consultation and lab work. Then we customize your treatment to fit you. Don't sit on the sideline of life. Feel your best. Book your consultation today at theglowsd.com. That's theglowsd.com.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
Welcome back in on KYNT and KYN TV. It's time to announce your starting lineups here for this matchup between the Yankton Bucks and the visiting T-Area Titans. They're brought to you by First Chiropractic Centers, making life better one adjustment at a time. And Josh, we'll go to you. We'll start with the visitors tonight on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, and we'll start with the T offense here at quarterback tonight, a 6'1 senior, Dashel Lowry. At running back tonight, they're going to have 2 backs. It'll be Cade Korleski, a junior, as well as number 25, Carter Brown, a senior. At fullback tonight, number 28, that is Hayden Belos. He's a junior. 2 receivers here tonight for the Titans. Number 5, a senior, Cade Bonenberger, as well as number 10, Griffin Wiebinga. He's a junior at 6'4". Moving across the offensive line at left tackle, number 53, Kingston Nyberg, the senior. At left guard, a sophomore, Dawson Bunkowski over there. In the middle of the line at center, number 78, a junior, Trey Krell. At right guard, a sophomore, Gavin Stonke, and at right tackle, a 6'6", 265-pound senior in Cody Peterson. On the defensive side of the football, you're going to see a classic 4-3 here from the T area Titans. At the 2 defensive end spots, you have number 51, Chase DeBoer. He's a senior, as well as number 28, a junior, Hayden Belost. At the defensive tackle spot, it's Emmett DeGeest. And at nose guard, Kingston Nyberg, the senior. At the 3 linebacker spots, you got a couple of seniors in Leighton Moran and Carter Brown, as well as Brayden Nifke, the other linebacker there, the junior. At corner, you have 2 sophomores in Cameron Hillestad and Lucas Randall. And then at the safety spots, a pair of juniors in Cade Korleski and Griffin Wiebinga as well for the T-Area Titans.
Yeah, great lineup as always. A couple more underclassmen that I think we're used to with T-Area. Usually they're a veteran team that kind of runs the similar system and is a well-oiled machine. So that could lead to maybe some mental errors tonight, but we mentioned it. Some of these underclassmen are leading the team. Emmett DeGeest, a sophomore, is the team high right now in tackles. He has been a animal for this T-Area defense. Across the way for the Yankton Bucks tonight, senior night. Who's getting announced as the starters tonight one last time in the regular season at Crane Youngworth Field?
Yeah, and we'll start on the defensive side of the ball for the Bucks. How about that tonight? 2 edges, both seniors, number 11, Edley Amaro, and number 9, Talon Kenny. At defensive tackle tonight, a senior, it's William Guzman-Yugovsky, as well as the nose guard, the senior, number 64, Drace Gaskins. 2 linebackers tonight, pair of seniors in Chase Platt and Easton Feeser. At corner tonight, senior Carter Boomsma, as well as senior Miles Drotzman. At the rover spot, Gavin Johnson, a senior, number 21. And then at the 2 safety spots, the senior Cale Hazelhorst and the junior Tegan LaCroix. On the offensive side of the ball, at quarterback, the gunslinger, the senior quarterback, number 10, Tate Bestie. At running back tonight, senior number 24, Jason Lachek. At the H-back spot, senior number 11, Edley Amaro. A trio of seniors at receiver tonight, Owen Eidsness, Abe O'Brien back in the lineup tonight, as well as Cale Hazelhorst. Getting the start at tight end, it's number 9, Talon Kenny. And going on the offensive line from left to right, senior Austin Conway, senior Riley Mortensen at left guard, center Ben Bowman, the junior, right guard, a senior Peyton Eustace, as well as at right tackle, senior Drace Gaskins. Handling special teams duties tonight, kickoffs and punts, the senior Liam Villanueva, and field goals and extra points is Kevin Ortiz, the senior. As for coaches for the Yankton Bucks, head coach Brady Muth, offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Terry Huber, defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Justin Olson, special teams coordinator and wide receivers coach Brady Hale, quarterbacks is coach TJ Beacom, as well as running backs coach Jason Savvy, defensive line coach Dan Schwach, and defensive back coach Alex Topol. Your captains tonight for the Yankton Bucks, senior quarterback Tate Bestie, as well as senior receiver Owen Eidsness. Also out there is Miles Drotzman, the defensive back, and the other captain tonight, number 77, Peyton Eustace, playing here tonight as well. Those are your team captains for the Bucks. And as for T, here tonight, their captains, Brenner Conrad, Carter Brown, Chase DeBoer, and Cody Peterson.
You did mention Brenner Conrad looks like he's in street clothes out there, but he is one of the captains tonight. And that's tough for him. He's usually a great athlete for T in multitude of sports. So to see him out there and not suited up, that's a loss for the Titans for sure. Taking a look at Yankton's side of things, it's time to talk keys, starting with your key player of the game from Missouri River Associates, Tate Bestie, the senior quarterback. Today. He's decisive, he's smart, he's got a great connection with his receivers. Talked about his stats earlier on, but if you missed him, just under 1,400 yards passing and 14 touchdowns for the senior quarterback.
Yeah, and that's something that he's been great, one of the best in the state, if not the best in 11AA, and he's going to have another big night tonight. The offense has had some troubles the last couple weeks, but I think they want to attack this T defense vertically and get him going, especially with them wanting to play up, play some press, some man there. They're betting that they have the guys that can get that done, and we know they can. We've seen that, and we're going to see that Buck offense first here as we're about to get started.
Your keys to the game brought to you by Vision Real Estate. Visit igotvision.com. Taking advantage of opportunities. There might not be many with how T likes to control the football, being disciplined on both sides of the ball, and forcing T out of their system, maybe more pass-heavy offense from the Titans. All keys today.
Right, you talk about that. I think the key for Yankton with that is getting up early. It's one of those things where if T's out of rhythm and they're down a couple scores early, they might have to start throwing the ball, and that's where it's so key for Yankton here to get off to a hot start, and they have that chance getting the ball first to start this one as we're about getting ready to get underway here. Teams are lined up, and we're ready to go.
Kickoff here brought to you by the Boathouse. They offer axe throwing, mini bowling, darts, and pool, plus awesome food and drinks and many TVs to watch all sports. Speaking of watching sports, shout out to our KYN TV watch party location, Ben's Brew Station. If it's on KYN TV, it's on at Ben's. 2 returners back deep for Yankton. It's Owen Eisness and Tegan LaCroix. This one is booted away, angled kind of in the middle of both of them. LaCroix fields it at his own 12-yard line. Cuts out right side, gets past the initial tackler, cuts upfield, down the sideline, and pushed out a play. He'll start the ball at his own 31-yard line is where he stepped out. That's where Tate Bestie will take the reins of the Yankton offense.
And Brayden, he's been so solid on kick return all season. He's a threat any part of the game. You see it on offense and defense, but special teams as well there. Another nice kick return for the junior safety.
Good to see number 17 back out there for Abe O'Brien. He's lined up bottom of your screen, left side of the formation here on KYNT and KYN TV. The Bucks go right to left, west to east here at Crane Youngworth Field. Bestie in the pistol, takes the snap, and he's going to do a quick bubble screen out right side. Jay Sedlacek has a little bit of space down that right sideline. He's met and pushed out at the 37-yard line there. So a quick little gain of 6 makes up 2nd and 4 from the Bucks 37.
And I like that, Brayden. You get your quarterback's confidence going early, get him a simple, easy completion that goes for a nice gain of about 5 or 6, and get the drive started.
They're going to mark him a yard short of what I thought. That's 2nd and 5 now from the 36. Handoff Sedlacek up the middle. A flag flying there at the line of scrimmage. Sedlacek gets down to the 40-yard line. It could be 3rd and 1 pending this penalty flag.
And I wonder usually when you see something like that, maybe someone lined up off sides or there's some kind of procedural thing, I wonder if maybe it's on that motion there that Yankton had going.
Usually with procedural penalties, though.
And that's kind of where the officials point to. I think that's what it's good. They're going to get Yankton on that motion.
I've always thought like procedural penalties like that against the offense, the play should just be blown dead across the board. Some of them do blow it dead, but some of them don't have the play blown dead. Either way, it's 2nd and 10 now from the Yankton 31.
Yeah, in fall starts, they do illegal motions, though, and illegal formations and things like that. They don't. So, yeah, that's one of those. Yankton, after getting 5 yards, they move 5 yards back on penalties, and that's something we've seen early on in games. Last week was an example. We've seen it early in the year against Huron, too, where penalties early have kind of killed some drives.
High snap, but Bestie brings it down. He throws the one-on-one ball right away. Carter Boomsma gets all those yards back and a few more. He's down to the T29-yard line. What a pitch and catch from the Yankton Bucks.
Yeah, good ball there from the senior quarterback. That's something Coach Muth has talked about throughout the week. They want to test this T defense vertically. They send a speedster out deep in Carter Boomsma, and they connect for a big play.
Boomsma one-on-one coverage brought it in about the T42-yard line, dragged a defender down to the 29. Huge gain for the Bucks. 1st and 10, knocking on the door of the red zone. Bestie goes quick fire left side, finds Abe O'Brien, and now right on the edge of that red zone here for the Bucks. Going to bring up 2nd and 1 from the 21-yard line. 2nd and 2, excuse me, from the 21.
Yeah, just a quick hitter there. Tate and Abe have connected on that all season. Just about a 7-8 curl and a nice gain on 1st down.
This opening drive is brought to you by Gernstner Oil. Triple Time Rudy's here in Yankton. Tate Bestie leading the drive right now. Looks out to Carter Boomsma. Boomsma cut that wheel route maybe a little more shallow in terms of going to the flat than Bestie expected. Led him more outside towards the boundary. Boomsma had already started cutting upfield.
Yeah, and I think he kind of still had to cut him short there. If you look, there was a safety that was kind of over there. If he cuts that a little bit more down the field, that could be an interception, turnover territory, or maybe even gets Boomsma lit up. But, yeah, just not able to connect on that play.
Bestie takes the snap, handoff up the gut. Sedlacek plunges into a pair of T defenders, and he is down right at the sticks. We'll see if they move the chains.
They're saying 4th here, so it's going to be out 4th and inches. Got to assume at the 20. Yankton's going for this, Brayden.
4th and inches, you mentioned, at the 20, Josh. First time tonight into the Midwest Insurance Agency red zone. Bestie in the shotgun with Sedlacek on his left, sorry.
Yeah, and I would just go right back to Sedlacek here with 4th and inches.
And that's exactly what they do. Sedlacek off the right side, gets the line to gain, and still chugs ahead for more. He's down to the 15-yard line, so a gain of 5 makes it 1st and 10 from the 15, officially deeper into that red zone for Yankton.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call there. You have 4th and inches. You might as well be aggressive in this spot. You get the first down and some more. Yankton moving the ball well here first drive.
And now from the 15, the Bucks going gun empty. Bestie takes the snap, looks quick right side, finds Talon Kenny in the flat. That was read very well by the T defense. Only a gain of 1 down to the Titans 14.
Yeah, and that's one they haven't really gotten Talon involved a lot in the passing game this season, right? But we know he's a capable pass catcher. You see it there, not able to shake the tackle, but it's nice to see him get involved in the pass game here and getting a catch.
Under 10 minutes to go now in the first quarter of play. 2nd and 9 from the T14 for the Bucks. Operating in the red zone. Sedlacek in the backfield with his quarterback, Bestie. Takes the high snap, looks left side, has a man looking for Owen Eidsness, but left that one too far. There were a couple T defenders over there, but even 2-on-1, Bestie likes his odds when he's targeting Owen Eidsness.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about. Yankton wants to come out throwing the football in this game, and you've seen it really a lot throughout this drive. I think there are only 3 carries here for Sedlacek on this opening drive, but Yankton testing it deep once again there with Eidsness. Now we're going to have to find something deep here on 3rd and 9.
Sedlacek goes in motion, so it ends up being an empty set, and a flag is going to be thrown. 2nd procedural penalty already on this opening drive. It's a false start against the offense, and they're going to march him back 5 yards. And that puts him at about the 19-yard line. So 3rd and 14 here for the Bucks.
Yeah, and that's another pre-snap penalty. We've seen 2 of those here in this first drive. Yankton was able to overcome it earlier in the drive. Now sitting with a 3rd and long here from about the 20.
Got a bunch set on the left side. Eidsness going to go in motion left to right. Bestie takes the snap. He's looking Owen Eidsness' way at the back pylon. Brings it in, but was he in bounds? No. They're saying he stepped out.
Yeah, and that was close there. He had Owen, but that's a tough window to fit it in. We'll have to look on the replay and see what we see here. But, yeah, from here at least it looked out of bounds. But we'll obviously take a look at it here on the replay.
Taking a look again at your Vision Care Associates replay. Eidsness right on that line, and he looks like he stepped out.
I think that's the right call. It's close, but I think that's the right call, Brayden.
We're going to see the kicking unit for the first time tonight. Kevin Ortiz comes on. This will be, it looks like a 35-yarder. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and Ortiz sends it through the uprights for 3. First points of the game belong to Yankton. A nice opening drive, ends in 3. Bucks on top 3-0. That opening drive, that scoring drive, brought to you by Core Trust Bank. And a scoreboard update from SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. Gonna take a quick 30-second break, come back right here to Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton.
At Vision Care Associates, we're always improving our technology for the health of your eyes. With OptiMap dilation-free exams, you get a comprehensive view of your retina without the need for dilation eye drops. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it keeps your day interruption-free. OptiMap captures a detailed image of your eye, helping to detect any problems. No blurriness, no discomfort, just clear, precise results. Book your OptiMap exam now.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Yankton leads 3-0 after their opening drive. Took just under 3 minutes off the game clock.
Yeah, and a nice drive there. That was really led by that big play we talked about with Carter Boomsma on the go ball on this one. Led to that field goal, eventually a couple penalties. But once again, we've seen now the special teams is a weapon for Yankton. Kevin Ortiz been nailing some field goals too last week. Gets one to start here tonight, and really like to see that, especially if it comes down to in a pinch. You know you got a guy who can make those from a certain distance.
Villanueva has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Saw the opening kick last week. Pinned Brookings back deep. Villanueva angling this one near the pylon, and that one is muffed at the 2-yard line. Picked up. Kylan O'Connor is going to end up bringing him down. I think gravity did most of the work there, but O'Connor's going to get credited with the tackle. On the return there was Lucas Randall, the sophomore, and for back-to-back weeks, the opening kick for Yankton pins their opponent inside their own 10.
And that's so big to do that on the opening kickoff. The reason is a lot of opening drives you'll see scripted and things like that. gets thrown off a little bit when you're inside your own 10. We saw Yankton last week get a 3 and out right out of this spot. Now they'll look to do it again against an offense who, similar ideas in the sense of how they want to get it done, but Brookings does compared to Brookings last week. But they're going to run option like you're seeing on this play.
That's going to be a handoff up the gut here from Lowry and plunging forward for a gain of about 5 on that play. And you say you got from actually they're going to say much shorter than what I thought initially. Yeah. Only from the 8 to about the 11. So gain of 3 brings up 2nd and 7. That was Cade Koleski on that carry, the junior running back.
Yeah, and they're just sending that end in motion, handing him off the ball. You're going to see that a lot tonight, and that power run, but more out of the old wing T triple option style of offense, like we've been talking about here in the pregame and in these first couple plays.
Lowry going to go in the shotgun, but a couple wing backs off each side of the offensive line. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Lowry going to look to pass and bat it up and knock down to the line. That's going to be Talon Kenny who got a paw on that one and knock it down. And now 3rd and 7 here for the Titans.
Yeah, and that's big. You can see a lot of linemen, even if you can't get through with the pass rush, right, you can still impact it. Maybe you get a hand up, maybe you tip a ball, and you saw it on that play. And now a 3rd and 7 or so for T. Not the area they want to be in. Probably going to have to look to throw the ball again here on 3rd down.
I'll tell you, Josh, this triple option is going to be a new adventure for me as a broadcaster. First ever triple option offense I've had the pleasure to call. One player goes in motion, right side, left side of the formation. Johnson jumps for Yankton. There might have been...
See, and I don't know if any T linemen reacted. If they didn't, I think that's way too quick on that. And that goes both sides. You have the opportunity to get back. They called that whistle immediately on that. So maybe a T lineman reacted, which then would cause the penalty to come out.
It was 3rd and 6 officially. It's now 3rd and 1, and now the entire T playbook open. You only need 1 yard to keep the drive going.
And penalties a bit of a problem here early for the Bucs. We saw 2 on offense, now 1 here on defense. All pre-snap things, something that Yankton really has kind of struggled with throughout the year.
Titans going to go I form. Wingback goes in motion, left side to right, and it's going to be a quarterback dive there for Dashiell Lowry. He's in for a first down. Gets to about the 20 is where they're going to say his knee hit the turf. So 1st and 10, Titans from their own 20-yard line, picking up their first down of the day.
Yeah, and that one sold me for a second, the way Lowry reacted on that. I thought he dropped the snap or something. No, he was just trying to get down there, get the first down. And T, getting out of the back, they're in the end zone now. Maybe they can open up more of what they wanted to here on offense. And we'll see what happens here as they have a fresh set of downs.
Titans going I form again here. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. And Lowry's going to hand off to the fullback, and that one's going to be a gaping hole off the left side. Rumbling for a first down and more. Brought down by Tegan LaCroix and Miles Drotzman at about the 41-yard line. So a 21-yard rush there on a fullback dive. Big play for the Titans.
Who says old school football can't be explosive too? Fullbacks can get things done, Brayden, and you saw it on that play. Big run, like you said. And this T offense in business all of a sudden, picking up back-to-back first downs here.
Looks like Hayden Belos, was on that carry. Shotgun formation here now for T. Quick pass out into the flat off the right side. Caught with plenty of space to run into. Hazelhorse escorts him out of bounds. But the chains are going to be moving again and into Yankton territory. On that catch there was Cade Koleski, the junior, getting out into the flat and getting open.
Yeah, and just a little arrow route there in the flat. Yankton kind of bought in on the inside stuff, and really Cale was the only guy there, and he was a solid 7-8 yards from the receiver by the time that ball was caught. So that's a nice play and an easy first down here for the Titan offense.
1st and 10, T from the Yankton 47-yard line. We're nearing the 7-minute mark here in the first quarter of play. Yankton leads 3-0. 2 backs in the backfield with the quarterback, Lowry in the shotgun. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle to Koleski. Gets a couple yards off the left side. Gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 from the Yankton 45.
Yeah, not much on that one there. Yankton's defense doing a good job on the interior. That's more of a run you'll see from the Yankton offense, right? Shotgun, halfback dive, things like that. But now it's the offense once again. They've been moving well, but they've also been outside, or these last few plays, staying on schedule, getting plays early on first down. Let's see what happens when they're in their 2nd and long here.
Got to give credit where credit's due on that carry. Was not Koleski. It was Carter Brown on that carry. Koleski the deep back this time, though. Lowry under center is going to hand it off to the deep back Korleski, and he is wrapped up and brought down by Austin Conway. Another gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 6. 2 yards a carry is not the math you want for a first down, but you're still cutting those chains in half right now.
Yeah, and Conway did a good job on that play. Otherwise, I think the back might have had some space there, but Conway did a good job of limiting that carry. And now we'll see what T does. They're kind of in that no man's land area, or if they get 3 or 4 yards here, they might be going for it on that 4th down. But right now, we'll see what they do here on 3rd and 6.
Shotgun for the Titans. Lowry with the running back on his left side. It's going to be a speed option. Pitches it out to Brown off that left side. He is wrapped up immediately. Basically, every Yankton Buck still pushing the pile, not giving up on the play there for Carter Brown. He's officially stopped with his forward motion at the 40, so it brings up 4th and about 3 here for T. And you said it yourself, Josh, right in that no man's land. I don't think they're going to bring the punter on.
Yeah, and there were a couple Bucks who made first contact on the play. I saw Austin Conway in there. I think it might have been Madden McQuaid in there as well. And now T going for it here on 4th and 3.
Under center goes Lowry. Traditional triple option style of formation here with a couple wingbacks. And Lowry hands it off up the middle, plowing forward near the line to gain.
He's a yard short, Brayden. That's going to be Bucks football.
That is going to be Yankton football. Got 2 yards, needed 3. Yankton's going to take over at their own 38-yard line. On that play was Belos, but...
Yeah, and Brayden, that's a really good job by the Yankton defense. They bow up, stand strong after giving up some runs early in this drive. They get the stop there, and now this offense in good field position at about the 38.
Yankton's starting field position was great for him last week as well against Brookings. Bestie in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Running back Sedlacek in the backfield with him. Bestie takes the belt high snap, looks left side, pump fakes, under pressure, and just kind of flips that one away. That's going to be ruled a fumble, I think. Isis picks it up. He's brought down out of bounds. A flag as well on the play. So a lot of moving parts we got to get through here, but that was great pressure generated by Belos up the middle.
I don't think that's a fumble. I do think it's a forward pass, but if it is a forward pass, that's going to be intentional grounding on the Bucks. There was not a receiver in the area, and that was behind the line of scrimmage. So that either they're going to call that a fumble or that's intentional grounding. It can't be both, but it's at least one, and I think they're going to get the Bucks for grounding there.
Officials are having a meeting right now on the field. Perfect time to mention that your officials today are brought to you by the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General. They are the law on the field. Yankton, they got their red tops, red helmets, white pants. I already mentioned earlier on, moving right to left as you see it and hear it. That's west to east at Crane Youngworth Field. T, and they're all white uniforms with blue helmets. Get the official word.
Interesting.
So after all the moving parts, it wasn't the penalty we thought, Josh. It's going to bring up 1st and 20, though, as it was a holding penalty against Yankton. They ruled there was a receiver in the area, but another time where the Bucks are starting to drive behind the sticks. It's a broken record this year, it feels.
Yeah, and penalties early. I'd have to go back and look at that and see which receiver in the area. My eyes were looking more towards the right. Maybe there was someone underneath there, someone I missed, but now Yankton going deep here.
Yeah, one-on-one ball. Carter Boomsma brings it in at the 50, and he's got track speed down the left sideline. It doesn't matter where you start the drive if that's how you're going to finish it, Josh.
Yeah, that's one way to finish it. We talk about Carter Boomsma's speed. Give the guy with some speed a chance to go up and get it, and he does. Gets underneath it, takes to the house. We talked about this T defense. They're going to press up. Yankton wanted to challenge that early, and they're winning on that to Carter Boomsma.
Looking at it again on your Vision Care Associates replay. Bestie took the snap, and when you're going to one-on-one press one of the fastest guys in the state with no safety help, Tate's going to take that every time. Worked on a big gain on their first drive. Now they're into the end zone for 6 on their second drive. Yankton leads 9-0. Pending this Kevin Ortiz extra point, it's up, sails into the night sky, it's good. 10-0. Yankton up double digits on the Titans here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, quick drive there, obviously, the Bucks. Big play, needed that, got it after the penalty. They go up 10 here. This Yankton offense moving the ball well early on the T defense.
Scoreboard update brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, the go-to place for specialized wellness and therapy. Scoring drive from Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations. 10-0 your score. Both teams already getting onto the field for the kickoff, so we'll keep it right here. but T area now has to respond. But Josh, this is what we talked about in the pregame. Yankton wanting to start fast and force T potentially out of their run-heavy mindset early on.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about with when they're down 2 scores or more, what happens. Now you're going to see, will T call this offense differently early? I don't think so. It's still a lot of time left in this football game, and you're only down 10. But, if Yankton keeps applying the pressure offensively, we could see that. But for now, I kind of expect T to stick with their game plan. They did move the ball pretty well on that first drive, just got stuffed on a 4th and 1. Or a 4th and 3 from about the Yankton 40. So now we'll see what they can do here with their second drive. But Yankton off to a great start, obviously, offensively after that big touchdown to Boomsma.
Special teams has to be disciplined here as well. We've seen kick returns for touchdowns on these T Yankton matchups. Villanueva angles that almost perfectly. That one went out of bounds. They're saying it just at the 1 yard line. And it's one, Josh, that we're going to look at again here on our Vision Care Associates replay just to see exactly where that went out if we can. And I think it was already out. Yeah, by the pan getting over there, but it was already out of bounds. So don't have a good angle for that one, but it was definitely close, Josh. Even if the replay gave us different evidence, they're not going to change it down on the field, but that was a close one right at the pylon.
Yeah, it was, and that's one that Yankton, that's happened a couple times, but Liam's overall done a really good job kickoffs here. But now T in good field position to start this drive.
1st and 10 from their own 35. Titans go under center. Lowry fakes the handoff, pulls it on the triple option, and Edley Amaro read that perfectly the whole way, brings down Lowry for a big tackle for loss. They're going to say he lost about 6 on that play. Bring up 2nd and 16 from the T29.
Yeah, and let's just keep it as simple as this. 11 for the Yankton defense is a game record. Edley Amaro blew that play up, and like you said, about a loss of 5 or 6 on that play. Nice job there by the senior edge blowing that one up.
Edley Amaro, a guy that for years has been talked about how much raw talent he has, and he's got all the physical tools, and he's putting together in the football IQ as well. Shotgun set here. And a pre-snap penalty. And usually when they blow it dead, that's going against the Titans. So that might march him back 5 more yards, Josh.
Yeah, we'll see if it's on the line. But to me, it looked like the receiver out in the slot, 23, got a little bit of a head start. And I think they're going to clip him for 5 on this play.
If it is 2-3, it's Cade Korleski who's going to get called for it. We'll hear it from the official here momentarily.
Dead ball, false start, offense number 5.
They're going to say it was against number 5. That's a receiver in his own right.
Or Bonenberger. My apologies, yeah.
Caden Bonenberger.
Either way now, second, very, very long here for this T offense.
An offense that likes to run the football. What do you got drawn up for 2nd and 21? From their own 24-yard line as well. Lowry's going to go under center here. Looks like Brown's going to be the deep back. Check that. That's going to be Belos, the deep back. Got a hand on the ground as a fullback. Take the handoff up the middle. Going nowhere. Gaskins put an arm on him first. McQuaid helps clean it up as well. Big stop there for Yankton. They might even knock him back an extra yard. Make it 3rd and 22 for this T-area Titans team.
Yeah, these Yankton defensive tackles, we've seen it here early between Guzman Ugofsky and Gaskins and Austin Conway. They're doing a really good job up front. You saw it right there again for another TFL on that play. Defensive tackles for the Yankton Buck defense playing really well so far.
I don't know what coach has a 3rd and 21 play drawn up. See what T area comes out in here. It's going to be a shotgun, 2 running backs in the backfield. 1 receiver left, 2 receivers to the right. Lowry's going to take the chest high snap, and a flag's going to fly. They're going to blow it dead. And that usually indicates an offensive penalty again, Josh.
Yeah, probably another false start on that, and that's what they're going to get.
They got number 25 that time. That's Carter Brown, and that's going to back him up 5 more yards. We are now at 3rd and 26. You got to go a quarter of the field just to get a first down.
Yeah, I don't know what offenses, like you said, have something dialed up for 3rd and 26. Maybe the Bucks do. We've seen it early, but yeah, tough spot here for any offense. We'll see what T can do with it.
I'm expecting, Josh, next time we see the Bucks offense out there, I don't think T's going to go one-on-one press without help over the top on Carter Boomsma again. But
yeah, got to make an adjustment there. It's happened twice now, and see if this T defense can adjust. But first, let's see if this offense can get something going. But we do have another penalty.
Delay a game. There's 0 on the play clock here behind the east end zone. That's the third procedural penalty in a row here now for T, or 3rd on this drive. They have just been moving the wrong direction the entire time they've had the ball for just the second time tonight.
Yeah, and that's just another one right there that completely can flip the field in this game, Brayden. T started with really good field position here after the kickoff out of bounds. All of a sudden, they're sitting at their own 14 or so here on third.
Handoff goes off the left side. Not much doing there. Good tackle on the play by a pair of Bucks. Chase Platt in there as well as Talon Kenny. On the carry was Korleski. Doesn't get too much yardage. And now 4th and about 30, they're saying. T gonna punt. At a drive that started at their own 35, their punter lined up with his heels at his own 1-yard line. It looks like Lowry, the quarterback, is the punter as well.
Yeah, and Yankton should have good field position here. Owen Isnes, the punt returner, is planted about the T49 here.
And Will Sager almost blocked that one. Isnes lets it roll and go. It won't go out of bounds. It'll stay inbounds and be down at the 42-yard line. So Yankton has 58 yards to go if they want to get back on the board again. We're under 2 to play here in the first quarter. Yankton leads 10-0, and the Bucks could be up 3 scores the next time T touches the ball.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot. But we've seen what this Yankton's offense want to do. Coach Muth said it all week, test this defense vertically. They want to play man, press, things like that. And Yankton's testing it early. We've seen some success. 2 big deep bombs to Carter Booms, and one that led to a field goal, and then the last drive, the big one on a 1st and 20 play for a touchdown.
Notice here, Josh, only 1 corner pressing, and he has a safety over the top behind him, and that's on Owen Isnes on the far side of the field. Handoff up the gut, Sedlacek, and he is going to drag a couple of defenders with him. He was initially met at about the 45-yard line, drags some T players to about the 48, maybe the 49. It is going to be at the Yankton 49 here. 2nd down and 3 for the Bucks. Shotgun again for Bestie.
Yeah, good run there. You mentioned the safety over top, Shadow and Isnes. You got to do that with a guy who has 670 yards and 10 touchdowns. That run, Brayden, really only going for about a half a yard, if that.
Yeah, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage there for Jay Sedlacek. A pair of Titans blew it up immediately. Brings up 3rd down and 3 now here for Yankton. Much more manageable than the 3rd down we just saw on the other end of things, but still an important one for Yankton.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to the run here, if they want to do something with the pass. And usually in these situations, they have Tate roll out.
And Tate will roll left here, try to find somebody open, goes downfield. Cale Hazelhorst, 1st down and more. He's shoved out of bounds around the T40-yard line. So into plus territory go the Yankton Bucks, trying to increase their 10-0 lead here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's a tough throw for the senior quarterback, though. He's rolling with his opposite arm out to the left. Righties don't like rolling out to the left too often, but he makes a really good throw there. You saw him put a little extra mustard on it, right on the numbers of 1-4, Cale Hazelhorst for a big 1st down.
Trips to the right side of the formation here from the left hash. Bestie takes the snap, looks downfield. Carter Boomsma was the intended target again. A little out of reach, and if that one's in the gloves, Josh, we're celebrating another Carter Boomsma touchdown.
Yeah, there was a little bit of heat there from T, but it got delayed. The offensive line did a pretty good job. That one just a little high and a little ahead of there of Carter Boomsma, but we've seen that connection work really well so far here tonight. Now Yankton dealing with a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 from the T39-yard line. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Pistol formation here for the Bucks. It's going to lead to a handoff up the middle. Sedlacek met immediately. That's Korleski on the tackle, and a loss of yardage brings up 3rd and 11 from the looks of it from the 40.
Yeah, just nothing going on that play, and now Yankton's sitting in a 3rd and long here. We know they can hit the deep ball. Obviously looking here with looks like 2 out wide there, as well as the tight, or Edley Amaro at the H-back spot.
2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Bestie in the shotgun with Sedlacek on his left. Yankton operating from the left hash. Bestie starts to roll right, jukes out past of a defender, turns upfield and leaves a pass a little too low there for Cale Hazelhorst. Would have been a 1st down, but Hazelhorst not able to slide down and get that one, and Liam Villanueva is going to come out to punt.
Yeah, first punt here for the Bucks. Good job by the T defense, able to get a stop. They really needed it there. Down 10 here early, needed to get a stop. They do on that, and now forcing Yank to punt, but probably pinned deep in their own end unless they can get it, or Liam here to put it out of the back of the end zone.
And Liam said that when I talked to him earlier this week, focusing on making sure that he does not punt the ball into the end zone was big, but bobbles the snap there, still gets the punt off, and it might give the coverage team a little more time to get down there. Ball goes and bounces out of play around the 16-yard line. So pinning them inside their own 20, that's the goal for punters, and especially after a little bit of chaos at the start there with the bobbled snap.
Yeah, kind of a bobbled snap, but Liam did a good job of getting it off, and maybe not as deep as you wanted to pin him, but still the 18, it's a pretty good spot, 18, 19, maybe even the 20, actually, now that I'm looking here. Yeah, right at the 20. is where T's going to start with this. So we'll see what they can do here on their third drive after going backwards. A lot of penalties, as well as an Edley Amaro play that kind of blew up this T offense on that first play that lost 6 yards on that last drive. Now looking to get something going here on their third drive.
Googled this earlier this week while doing special team stats, Josh. If a punt goes out of bounds at the 20, it's still a punt inside the 20, but obviously a touchback is not a punt inside the 20 as we get a flag on the opening play, and this looks like it's going to be another false start on T.
And once again, just getting behind the 8 ball. We've talked about that and how any offense, you have penalties, it's going to throw you off and kind of off what you want to do. But for this T offense, we talk about they want to run the football. We say this again and again and again. When you're getting in these 1st and 15, 2nd and 12s, things like that, it's a tough spot to be in for any offense, but especially one that is predominantly a run-first offense.
15, magic number right now. 1st and 15 from their own 15 for T. They're down 10 here in the first quarter. Under 30 seconds to go. Right around the 20-second mark right now. And handoff up the middle. Not much running room on that one. I was watching Gavin Johnson there initially, Josh. Split the gap, but was not the gap that the running back was going through, so he just kind of left on his own in the backfield. But short gain there brings up 2nd and 11. Gain of 4 for the Titans. That's going to wrap up the first quarter of play as the clock will go to 0 here at Crane Youngworth Field. Yankton leads at the break 10-0. This quarter break couldn't come at a better time with my hiccups right now. Brought to you by Conkling Distributing. Excuse me again. The scoreboard update brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. We got to get to break. I'll be back. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Yankton leads 10-0 here on KYNT and KYN TV.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
2nd and 11 Titans here as we start the second quarter of play. It's going to be a fullback dive up the middle and a lot of space for Belos, and he breaks another tackle. Tries to cut left side. Stiff arms to Miles Drotzman. Finally, Edley Amaro brings him down, but tough running there from Belos coming out of the quarter break. And we're going to actually look at that one again on your Vision Care Associates replay. What a tough run there for Belos.
I mean, you talk about boom, right there laying into a guy, breaks another tackle, boom, right through Miles Drotzman as well, Brayden. My goodness, a big run there for the fullback, and that's something that T has had success with early, those fullback dives, 2 big runs on that in this game.
I formation here, go the Titans, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. Ball's on the ground. It's going to be picked up by Yankton. Easton Fieser has open space, and he's got 6. A defensive touchdown for the Bucks. Easton Fieser finds his way to the end zone. They haven't seen it in a couple weeks, Josh, but this is an opportunistic defense that loves to score.
Yeah, and usually you see it in the interception range, or pick 6 is what you see from this Yankton defense, but that one, it's the fumble. The senior linebacker seeing the ball on the ground, he picks it up, scoop and score. A big play for this Yankton defense. Wow, what a game changer on that, able to pick it up and run it in. Happy for the senior linebacker, only his 3rd game this season, and he's made his impact known in those 3 games, Brayden.
Yankton leads 16-0 pending the extra point. After this extra point, we'll take a look again at that scoop and score on your Vision Care Associates replay. Flags fly as the kick is up. It would have been good, but most likely a procedural penalty here.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those tonight on both sides for both teams, so guessing it's probably something, maybe a false start or something like that.
Extra point would put Yankton up 3 scores, potentially 17-0. Only a 2-score game right now at 16-0, so this is a crucial extra point, and the grand scheme of how Yankton and T are going to attack the rest of the game.
Yeah, like you said, that extra point does put you up 3 here. We're still waiting on an official call. They haven't moved the ball either yet, Brayden, so I wonder maybe if this is on T potentially. Yes, it is. Legal substitution here on the Titans.
Half of this is the goal, so Kevin Ortiz moves the kick placement T basically about 3 feet in front of him. LaCroix to hold. Ortiz to kick. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. Took a little longer to do it, but it got done. 17-0 Yankton on top. Let's take a look at that scoop and score again on your Vision Care Associates replay. Play already in motion. The ball was knocked out off the left side. Didn't see who got that knocked out, but Easton Fieser down the sideline for 6. Big play there. And I wonder, this on-air production meeting, Josh, I think I can basically stop this and see where that ball might have been punched out. You can see the runner right at about on the left side, about the 43-yard line. It looks like Talon Kenny's in there punching at where the ball carrier would be. The ball dropping down below. But I think that's actually forced by the blocker in front of him, running into his own blocker, and then that one ends up getting scooped up. You see Easton Fieser come off and ends up putting it away for 6. 17-0 your score. Yankton on top by 3 scores against the T Area Titans here on senior night. Scoreboard update from SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, and scoring drive. Wasn't much of a drive at all for Yankton, but scoring drive from Core Trust Bank.
And that might be one of the most satisfying plays to watch in football, in my opinion. The scoop and score, especially when it's for the Bucs here. That's a nice play, and once again, the senior linebacker able to just pick it up and take it to the house. And now Yankton up 3 scores here pretty early into this second quarter against T.
I want to give a big thank you to Pete Roberts again, a stat guy, works for T, made the trip down here, and we have live stats tonight from him. So we're not just keeping our own unofficially, Josh. And first quarter, you look at the numbers, it was all Yankton. Tate Bestie had almost 140 yards passing in the first quarter. We'll talk more about that in a minute as the kickoff is received at their own 4-yard line here for the Titans, trying to cut out right side. That's Hirschman with a big tackle there. Ivan Hirschman, the junior, brings down the returner about the 16, maybe 17-yard line, so inside their own 20 to start things for the Titans.
Yeah, and you mentioned Tate with 140 yards in that first quarter, 112 of that to Carter Boomsma. 2 big plays, a 72-yard touchdown pass in the mix there. He's been so crucial tonight, and obviously his numbers show that.
It's got to be the first time all year Tate's been over 100 yards passing, and none of it's been to Owen Eidsness yet.
Yeah, haven't really called his number yet, and you know he will as this game goes on.
Handoff up the gut here for the Titans. Tough running for Belos, again dragging everybody. He ate his Wheaties this morning. 1st and 10 for T, getting from their own about 17-yard line all the way down. They're going to say to the 34.
Yeah, and Brayden, I'm going to sound like old man here. Yankton's got to find a way to get lower on him. I know he's a big kid, but Yankton's tackling really high. And combine that with a really hard runner, and you're seeing T get some nice gains on things like that. But, yeah, nice gain there to start this drive.
Belos stands 6'3", 210 pounds, but he runs like he weighs 240. He's brought down that time by the Yankton defense. Brings up 2nd and 10. That's right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and it looked like it was Austin Conway and leading the way on that play. Called his name a couple times here tonight. He's been really good. Makes another play there. Side note, I just got sent a highlight. You remember that play a few years ago, Broncos-Chiefs, where Mahomes is falling and he flips it with his left hand? Dylan Raiola just did the same thing.
What's he think he is? Patrick Mahomes? Play action here for Lowry. Throw off the right side. Bobbled but brought in. 1st and 10 again for T, as that one gets down past the 50 into Yankton territory. Little pitch and catch from Lowry to Korleski.
Yeah, Yankton caught off guard there with the pass. They sneak that guy right across the field, wide open for a big play and a 1st down here for the Titans.
1st and 10 in Yankton territory, officially at the Bucs 49. For T, under center goes Lowry on what feels like a must-score drive here in the first half. Handoff to Belos again, drags defenders down. Not as much as we've seen him gain already in this quarter, but still a decent gain of 4, brings up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and T chaining together a couple nice plays here, get a nice gain on that one, but now sitting with a 2nd, about 4 or 5
Scoreboard here at Crane says 2nd and 4, but it looks more like 2nd and 6. So it was a gain of 4. See if they go to it again. Lowry will throw, and that pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Lowry got knocked to the turf as he was throwing as well. Brings up 3rd and 6 here for the Titans from the Yankton 45.
Yeah, just looking for kind of a hitch route on that play, and looked like it was Ben Brunson on there, the intended receiver. Just kind of sailed on the curl. There was a little bit of pressure as well at that, and now another 3rd down for this T offense.
Difference in mentality in that first quarter, Josh. We talked about it. The Titans threw 2 passes. The Bucs threw 11. We're seeing Titans have to go to the pass more and more here as they're behind the sticks. Pulled off of the read option, and nobody accounted for Dashiell Lowry down the right sideline from the 45 to about the 23. Huge gain there on the read, just pulled it. When B-Loss has been running well, you're going to see that on the triple option.
Yeah, and that one fooled me. I thought that went up the middle the way it was going. Good job there by Lowry, the quarterback, pulling it and getting out for a big gain there. And now this T offense, once again, in business, moving the football. Now let's see if they can add some points here.
They're officially going to say Lowry stepped out at the 25, so 1st and 10 on the edge of the red zone here for the Titans. Lowry's going to go under center in the I formation, 2 receivers left, 1 right. And whistles blow, flags fly, and potentially another procedural penalty.
Seen a lot of that in this game, right? And that's something where it's been more T lately on their drives. False starts, illegal procedures, things like that. And another one right there. On that one, they clipped number 23, Korleski, on that play. Going to be sitting in a 1st and 15.
That's the 2nd time Korleski's been called tonight for a false start. 1st and 15, like you said, Josh, from the Yankton 30. T would love 6 here. Under center goes Lowry. He's going to hand it off to B-Loss, but not much on that one. Actually gets brought down at the line of scrimmage. Had to scan an extra time to make sure Lowry didn't pull that one. Makes it 2nd and 15 now for the Titans.
Yeah, just not much to gain there once again. And we talked about the interior of that Yankton line specifically. When it's not necessarily those fullback dives, they've done a really good job and another stuff right there. And now setting up a 2nd and long here for the Titan offense.
Officially under the 9-minute mark here in the first half. 17-0 Yankton leads. Titans on the attack right now. Handoff left side. Brown goes nowhere. Ran into Edley Amaro, and Amaro brought him down for a 2-yard loss. 3rd and 17 now for T from the Yankton 32.
Yeah, and he's made his presence known in the run game tonight. The edge rusher, the senior for the Yankton defense, make another play there. He's got a couple TFLs in this one, and right there, was able to stop T from bouncing that one outside and having a gain. He takes that back for a loss of 2. And now, like you said, a 3rd and 17 here. We'll see what T wants to do. Kind of in no man's land at about the 32-yard line or so.
Something to keep an eye on. Edley Amaro just made that big play. He is talking to athletic trainer Trevor Woods right now, shaking out that hand. Might have got smashed on that one. Lowry drops back to throw. Hit as he threw, and intercepted by Tegan LaCroix. LaCroix down the left sideline, runs into a couple of defenders trying to make a miss. Big play there for Tegan LaCroix and the Yankton Bucks. Almost looked like Cale Hazelhorst and LaCroix were miscommunication. We're just going to let that one fall to the turf. But LaCroix able to bring it in. Let's look at the back half of this on your Vision Care Associates replay. You can see Hazelhorst and LaCroix both go up for it. LaCroix able to secure it for his first interception of the day. Another turnover forced by this Yankton defense.
Yeah, and that's big. And, Lowry's just trying to make a play there, Brayden. It's 3rd and 17. You're down 3 scores. LaCroix gets in. What's so big about that is maybe they punt if they don't get anything. Now you flip the field and put the offense in a good spot.
Go handoff here, trying to cut it back. Look like a jet sweep there, Eidsness. Was that a sweep or a pot pass, Josh?
That was just a handoff there.
Okay.
They ran. He was almost basically another running back in that situation. They had 3 backs in the backfield and just handed that one off almost on a sweep to Owen there. Just nothing really going, and lost a couple yards.
Peek behind the curtain. I was sorting highlights in that moment. Sometimes I do forget how fast Yankton likes to operate. Throw over the middle. Cale Hazelhorst wide open. 1st down and more. He's into T territory. Spun down at the 42-yard line. Big pitch and catch there from Bestie to Hazelhorst into T Titans territory.
Yeah, and what's been nice about Cale is they've been getting him more involved week after week after week. And he's been one of those guys where, like, if you have, like, a 3rd and 13 or, like, a 2nd and 11 or something, they'll find him. And there he's just streaking across the middle of the field find 14 for a big play right there and a fresh set of downs.
For a second, I thought Yankton was in I formation because of how the H-back is lined up. It's going to be a play action here. Bestie rolls right, looks downfield, has Owen Eisnes on the wheel route, brings it in. Had to go down low to get that one, but what a snag from Owen Eisnes on the pitch from Tate Bestie. Little trick play here. Almost looked like a double play action. Bestie rolls out on the bootleg and finds Eisnes, who had that running start on the wheel route. Little low to go get it. But what a snag.
Yeah, and that's a really good throw, too. I know it wasn't on the money, but Tate had a lot of pressure on his face there to even give Owen a chance to catch that. And, of course, Winwood and Zero come up with the football. Nice play.
Bestie, thigh-high snap there. Quick roll out left. Finds his man open. Carter Boomsma. Flag flies. Boomsma's into the end zone. We'll see if that flag brings it back. But as it stands, that's going to be a touchdown Yankton. But judging by the fact that nobody in red is celebrating, Josh, I think they're calling this one back.
And I wonder maybe if you have an illegal lineman downfield or something like that. But, yeah, I think this one's coming back.
Waiting on the rule here from the white hat. Coach Muth wants an explanation.
We're all kind of waiting on one here.
I wouldn't mind one, that's for sure. It is an eligible player downfield. Good catch there, Josh.
Yeah, and that's one of those, like, I was going to say, there wasn't really a corner in the area, so I'm like, okay, it's not pass interference or anything like that. I thought maybe it was something like that because they had thrown that flag as the ball was in midair, really. So that's going to send Yankton back 5 yards here on first down.
The only other thing I could think of would have been holding, but that usually comes from behind the play more than out on the exterior like that. But first and 15 now for Yankton from the T22-yard line, so now out of the red zone here for the Bucks. They were just in your Midwest Insurance Agency red zone. Tate Bestie takes the snap, looks downfield. Hazelhorst might have turned more into defender than offensive player there, knocks that one away. That one was a little bit behind the big wide receiver.
Yeah, risky pass there. Multiple guys in coverage. I think Tate just got rushed there. There was some good pressure from this Titan defense on that play.
I'll have to check on that during the halftime break. I've noticed our video feed has flicked off for about a second at a time, I think twice so far today. So I'll check on that during the halftime break. Our apologies here on KYN TV. Bestie has a speed option, tries to turn it upfield, cuts back to his right side. He's brought down, gets back into the red zone here, Josh. But a gain of only 4, just short of the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but did an okay job of getting something out of that. That was kind of a designed run, and he was able to bounce it out after really nothing up the middle there and get a few yards in that play and make it third a little more manageable. We've seen this offense. They've been able to handle these third and second and longs today, so we'll see if they can do it again.
They are in Kevin Ortiz's field goal range as well. Trying to find Eisnes on a wheel route outside, but too far out in front of him. Brings up 4th down and 12 officially. They're going to say Bestie on that run was actually down at the 19. So we're going to see Kevin Ortiz trot onto the field, trying to go 2 for 2 on the day. This one, ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Looks like it would be about a 35-yarder for Ortiz. Did make a 36-yarder on his first field goal.
Yeah, and timing just a little bit off on that one and not able to connect. And now we'll see Ortiz again here trying to make his second field goal of the day.
Still be a 3-score game, but goes from 17 to 20 if he's able to put it through the uprights. Snap is good. Hold down. Kick is up. And Ortiz left that one a little wide right. Had the distance, but no good. First field goal miss today for Kevin Ortiz. 17-0 your score here on KYNT and KYN-TV. I was about to go to break, but that wasn't a scoring play. We don't have a break in the action here. T's already out on the field, but Yankton ends up being a turnover in the end, but 1st and 10 from their own 20. Still not great starting field position for T.
Yeah, chomping at the bit here to get back out, and this offense, they've had a couple turnovers and things like that as they've gotten some drives going, but now down 3 scores here, just trying to get something going and get some points.
Titans going to go I form here. Player coming in late. That's number 5, Bonenberger. And now a receiver in motion for the Titans, left side to right side of the formation. Handoff up the gut. And going nowhere on that one. I believe that's Carter Brown who got that one.
I think Trace Gaskins and company got in on that play. Just blowing it up, nothing to find there.
Yeah, they're going to give Brown 2 on that one, but it was a hard fought too. You mentioned Gaskins in there. That is not an easy guy to run into and meet in the hole, Josh.
Yeah, it might have also been Austin Conway there. Sometimes it's hard to tell the sixes apart when the action's going on, but either way, those two defensive tackles along with Guzman Yugovsky making some big plays here tonight.
Well, the easiest way to tell, Josh, is Drace Gaskins is 6'4", 285, and Austin Conway is 6'3", 280. So there's a very clear difference in how they're built. Hand off up the gut again. No, Lowry pulled it on the read option off the right side, and he pitches it late as well. That is the beauty of the triple option. First down for the Titans. They get to their own 35-yard line here. Korleski ends up getting the ball in the end.
Yeah, another first down there. They found some success pulling the ball and going out wide, and like you said, the late pitch on that one, getting a first down. First downs haven't been the problem for this T offense. It's completing drives, whether it's been penalties or turnovers and things like that have kind of killed some drives. They're just looking to have a clean drive here and get some points on the board.
So they stepped out 32. Shotgun formation here for T from their own 32, and a flag flies. And that looks like another false start here against the Titans. Bring up 1st and 15.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to get here, like you said. And once again, we talked about it. Turnovers and penalties, putting this TD offense behind the 8 ball. And once again, moving back 5 yards here.
That's Korleski called for it again. I know Coach Fry over there runs a great program, so he has to be livid with how these procedural penalties have gone in the first half. We're under 5 minutes to play now in the second quarter. They just adjusted the game clock to 4:48. Yankton leads here 17-0 on senior night. Been a pretty dominant showing so far. A couple turnovers forced by the Bucks defense. Obviously 17 points on the board. Lowry goes under center again. Going to be a handoff off the left side and nothing doing there. Yankton in the backfield, quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's Jake Bivens who got back there. Chase Platt with him. Gain of nothing. 2nd and 15 for the Titans.
Yeah, just nothing to gain there once again. Yankton starting to solve that fullback dive a little bit. You saw it on that play again. And just nothing to gain there on that.
Second quarter of action is brought to you by Yankton Medical Clinic and FNBO here on KYNT and KYN TV. T under center again. Lowry going to pull. It's a play action looking downfield and too far out in front of the intended target. That was Griffin Wiebenga. We talked about it in the pregame, Josh. When T looks to throw, he usually is that first target.
Brayden, he was wide open walking, and I think there's a chance maybe Drotzman catches him over there, but if he catches that, I think he might be scoring on that. Just not able to connect here. Now, 3rd and long for this T offense. What a tough break there for them.
3rd and 15 officially for the Titans. Ball on their own 27-yard line. Pretty close to the right hash. Lowry running in the play to his Titans teammates. Shotgun formation here for T. Trips left of the formation as well. Lowry takes the chest high, snap, drops back, looks downfield, throws the one-on-one ball to Wiebenga, and that one is out of bounds, incomplete. Intended target, once again, Griffin Wiebenga. And on 4th and 15 now, Josh, the T-Titans will bring on the punt unit.
Yeah, and once again, Yankton getting off the field there, the penalty, then you get a nice stuff on first, the missed throw, and then a couple missed throws there, and all of a sudden this offense getting the football back here after the defense gets another stop.
You had to think T2 is really hoping to potentially go 2 for 1 there. The Titans will get the ball to start the second half. Now what the score line is when they start the second half, yet to be seen. Yankton does have about 3:45 after this punt to work with. Ball caught at the 40. Eidsness did not call for a fair catch, and he got lit up on that one. That was Brady Tapia, the senior, on punt coverage there. Brought Eidsness down at his own 40, and 3:46 officially here for Yankton to work with. That's plenty of time for how this offense moves.
Yeah, plenty of time. You got 3 timeouts in your back pocket as well and in good field position. And this offense has been able to connect on the deep ball in this game. See what they can do here up 17.
We don't have the up-to-the-minute stats for Jason Sedlacek at running back, but 5 carries for 12 yards in that first quarter. His long was 7, so running game hasn't really been there quite yet tonight for Yankton. See if they try to establish that here. Chest high snap. Bestie looks to pass. Goes quick out into the flat. Cale Hazelhorst gets about 4 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 6. Hazelhorst gets out of bounds as well.
Yeah, nice little gain there to start the drive. Once again, like you said, 4 yards and keep the football moving.
Shotgun again here for Yankton. Tegan LaCroix lined up out there at wide receiver. Keep an eye on that. Chest high snap. Might have a free play here. Goes to Edley Amaro on an out route. Near the line to gain. He gets whipped down right about the 50-yard line, but big play there. Edley Amaro getting involved in the passing game. That's now twice tonight we've seen them go to guys, Josh, who aren't traditionally pass-catching threats. First time was Talon Kenny, now there to Edley Amaro.
Yeah, you don't see him involved in the passing offense much there. The senior H-back does make a nice catch. I think this one is going to go on the Yankton. It is a legal formation as they're moving back.
And that's one of those things. This is my soapbox in football, I guess, Josh. These procedural penalties where the offense would gain absolutely nothing, what's the point of letting the play go on if it's something that is with the snap or before the snap?
Because it's one of those situations where if T can get a turnover, then you go with that. A lot of times I think that's why. But, yeah, it's just one of those where they keep it going. And as we see a pass out here in the flat to Sedlacek.
Sedlacek on a little swing route, puts the shoulder down, runs through 1T defender. He's eventually brought down, but in Titans territory here, down to the nearing Titans territory. It's at the Yankton 48-yard line. 2nd and 2 here for the Bucks. 3rd and 2, excuse me. Gain of about 10 on that one. Shotgun formation again for Bestie. Eisner's going to go in motion left to right. He'll stack up off the right side. Bestie rolls to that right side. Design motion. Throws to Carter Boomsma. Initially caught it the line to gain. Was pushed back. They're going to give him forward progress, though, to the T49. Move those chains. The Bucks with 1st and 10 in T territory.
Yeah, just enough on that one to get it. And moves the sticks. And now Yankton dealing with a fresh set of downs.
Bucks working from the right hash. 2 receivers to the right side, so short side of the field. That's for a handoff to Jace Sedlacek. Cuts it back toward the right side and gets 1, maybe 2 on that one. Running game has not been there tonight for Yankton. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, just not much to gain there. And, Yankton, they've gone to it a few times, but not necessarily making the run game a priority tonight. But we kind of knew that they were going to want to attack downfield here and trying to get something there, but not much on first.
Seen the corners playing off a lot more since that long Carter Boomsma touchdown. Bestie with the play action. Has plenty of time. He's looking downfield for Carter Boomsma. It's high pointed by Griffin Wiebinga for the interception. T gets the ball back at about their own 17-yard line. Big interception there for Wiebinga.
Yeah, and I understand you got to make a decision, Brayden, but that one just wasn't there. Boomsma really was not open on that play, and then you see the turnover. And yeah, now T getting the ball back here with about 2:30 left in the first half. We'll see what they can do.
T does have all their timeouts as well. Potential to go 2 for 1 here, and that'd be the dream scenario for the Titans. You'd love if the next time Yankton touches the ball, it's only a 3-point ball game. Shotgun formation here for Doshel Lowry. Lowry takes the snap, looks right side, goes over the middle to Wiebinga, popped up, and flutters down at the 40-yard line. Griffin Wiebinga been getting involved in the action a lot more between the last couple offensive plays T has run, and then, of course, that interception he just got defensively.
Yeah, just not able to connect on that one. A little high ball tips up in the air, and when you're the offense, you see that ball tip up. It feels like it's up there for a couple minutes on that one, but yeah, incomplete pass here, and just not able to find Wiebinga on that play.
High formation here for T, and miscommunication maybe a little bit for the Titans. Pitched out, nothing doing there. Edley Amaro rides his man down at about the 11-yard line. That was Korleski, who was just kind of throwing a grenade there to handle, it felt like, Josh.
Yeah, Edley Amaro blowing up another play there. Yankton really shut that down on all facets in the triple option. Now you got to expect if Yankton's able to get a stop, they'll call a timeout here. Try to do something on offense before the end of the first half. They do get the ball first. T gets the ball first to start in the second half.
3rd and long from their own 12 officially for the Titans. Shotgun formation, 2 running backs in the backfield on either hip of the quarterback, Lowry. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Has some space, gets past the original line of scrimmage down to the 20-yard line. Still going to be about 7 yards short. Actually, I can say get to the 21, so 6 yards short of the first down. But a nice run there from Korleski. Cut the sticks basically in half from where T was.
Yeah, cut the sticks in half. Now you're not punting your own end zone. Yankton takes the time out here. They're going to get the ball back with about 1:30 or so. and a couple timeouts here. Should be in decent field position. See if they can do something here before the end of the first half.
Yeah, timeout taken. We'll take it with them. It's brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Yankton leads 17-0 with just over 90 seconds to play. We're back in, actually, they're huddling up, and Yankton's deep punt return is already on the field. We're not going to take it with them. We're going to stay right here at Crane-Youngworth Field. Your halftime break coming up momentarily anyway. This might be a case of Yankton's punt return team just quicker on the draw. Lowry will come out to punt here for the Titans. We are in your second quarter of play. Your action in the second quarter brought to you by Yankton Medical Clinic and FNBO. Lowry has his heels at about his own 6-yard line as he's waiting for the snap. Low snap, picks it off the dirt, gets the punt off, almost blocked there by Rounds. And a bouncing ball is going to be downed at the 46-yard line. So 1st and 10, Yankton already in T territory. Only 46 yards to go if they want to get in the end zone again.
Yeah, and a good field position here for Yankton. Once again, about 1:30 left here in the first half, and 2 timeouts as well. We know what this offense can do, and obviously they're looking to add some points here before the break.
That was William Rounds in there who almost got that punt block. Senior, almost with a huge play on senior night. Shotgun here for Bestie and the Bucks. Near the right hash, trips left of the formation. Bestie, quick fire pass out right side. Abe O'Brien puts a stiff arm on his defender and gets run out of bounds. Gonna bring up 2nd down here for the Bucks. 2nd and about 2 after a gain of 8.
I like that. A simple quick hitter, get the drive started. 10-17 on a hitch route. We hear that every week. And nice to see Abe back in the lineup as he missed last week with an injury. Now back and getting a couple grabs here in the first half.
2nd and 2 from the T38. Sedlacek goes in motion, so it's an empty set for Bestie. Little shoulder fake, now rolling out right side, looking downfield, lets it go. Kale Hazelhorst got it at the 10-yard line. Hazelhorst still going for it. He's out of bounds at the 2. Huge pitch and catch there to Kale Hazelhorst from Tate Bestie.
Yeah, big play. Running backwards on that one. Tate points up and says, go up and get it, big man. He does. What a play. And now Yankton, like you said, sit with 1st and goal. Looking to add some points here before the end of the first half.
Bucks are in your Midwest Insurance Agency red zone with that big play from Bestie to Hazelhorst. 1st and goal from about the 4-yard line. Yankton knocking on the door of potentially going up 23-0. Bestie in the pistol, Sedlacek the deep back behind him. Bestie takes the snap, handoff Sedlacek, no running room off that right side. Tries to get away from the initial tackle. It's going to end up being a loss of 1. 2nd and goal from the 5 now for Yankton.
Yeah, just not much going there. Jace tried to make a man miss, but nothing going, and they're going to go a yard back here now, so maybe even 2 yards back based on what the board's saying here and where the spot's at.
Looks like they're going to spot him at the 6. Good catch there. Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and goal, Yankton. Bestie in the shotgun with Sedlacek on his left. Bestie rolls left. Trying to get it quick out to Edley Amaro, but Edley didn't see it, and this could be a pick 6 for T. Cutting back inside, and a couple of different Yankton defenders letting him go at the 50. Abe O'Brien finally brings the man down. That was a huge interception there for number 2, Lucas Randall. And we go back and look at that one again.
And if you run this back, Brayden, you're going to see Tate just made the wrong read. He's going to have a guy wide open. I think it was Owen Heitzness in the corner of the end zone here.
We're going to look at, again, your Vision Care Associates replay. Eisness was open at the pylon. Tate was going short to Edley Amaro, and Amaro didn't have his head around yet. Timing just off there for Yankton. And for the Titans, a big return for Lucas Randall. Goes from about the 4-yard line all the way into Yankton territory. Returns it to the Bucks 45. And now 1st and 10 T, just over 30 seconds to play. Back-to-back interceptions ending drives for Tate Bestie.
Yeah, and a big stop there as well. Keep the Bucks off the board here as they're dropping back to pass.
And Lowry in and out of the hands of his intended target on that one. That was Bonenberger.
Yeah, just a missed opportunity, though, for Yankton, though. You look at it. Once again, we talk about Owen Heitzness open at the pylon. Tate trying to get out quick to Edley and just not able to connect. And like you said, big turnover there, getting the stop for T.
2nd and 10 now, Titans from the Yankton 45-yard line. Lowry going to be in the shotgun again. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Miles Drotzman signaling something to the rest of the secondary. Lowry takes the drop, looks right side, has a man open into the hands of Korleski. Tegan LaCroix with a big tackle there. Expecting T to take a timeout, as I don't think Korleski got out of bounds. The chains are moved, though. So 1st and 10, T knocking on the door of the red zone from the Yankton 21. And I think Coach Fry was just informed that Korleski didn't get out of bounds. We're going to get a timeout here, brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. When it comes to heating and cooling, be wiser and go with Kaiser. We're going to take it with them. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Yankton Bucks football, KYNT, KYN-TV.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. At the UPS store in Yankton, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
$17-0 your score coming out of this timeout here taken by the Titans. We're under 30 seconds to go, and T-Area trying to go 2 for 1 here, Josh. If they're able to score to end the first half, they get the ball to start the second. Could be a very different ball game the next time the Bucks get a sustained drive.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the Pier game a few weeks ago. You know, they're down a couple scores, all of a sudden get a touchdown before half, and then they get the ball first. Yankton trying to avoid a situation like that. Here, plenty of time, though. 2 timeouts, 25 seconds, right about the 20. We'll see what T can do.
Lowry in the shotgun here, running back on his right. Looks like Belos. And Lowry drops back, looks out right side, too far for the intended target there of Korleski. And out of bounds, and completion stops the clock as well. So 2nd and 10 now from the Yankton 22 here for the Titans. Check that, Yankton 21.
Yeah, good coverage there from the Yankton defense. 2 men in the area, and we're able to shut that down.
T able to huddle up here. No hurry up when they got the clock stoppage on the incompletion. It's expected that T, if they're going to throw the ball, they're going to attack the edges. The running game is still plausible. You're pretty close to the end zone, and you still got 2 timeouts, but Lowry might be putting the ball in the air. He will again here. Flags fly, and they get it out quickly to Griffin Wiebinga. He catches it inbounds, goes out of bounds, but the way those flags flew, usually something with the motion, a procedural penalty again.
Yeah, it's probably you're going to see here on that. Just trying to get out quick in the flat, and did, but like you said, flags fly, and we'll see as we wait for the call. The officials discussing this right at about the 25-yard line.
It is an illegal shift against the T offense.
All 11 players will set for 1 second before the snap. 5-yard penalty, second out.
So that's the first time I've heard that specific illegal shift of not all 11 players were set for at least a second or today with the procedural penalties. So if you got a procedural penalty bingo card, we're hitting it tonight.
Yeah, if you took the over on those, we're hitting it tonight. Both sides, too. Yankton's cleaned it up a little more here as this game's gone on, but T kind of been consistent throughout the evening.
2nd and 15 here for the Titans. Lowry drops back, looks downfield into double coverage, and that one is knocked away, incomplete. Couple Bucks in coverage. Hazelhorst was one of them, and it looks like Gavin Johnson was the other. Intended target on the play was Carter Brown.
Yeah, Yankton doing a good job coming down there and blowing that one up once again. And now 3rd and long here. We'll see how aggressive T wants to be, if they just are trying to get some yards here, or if maybe they will stay in field goal range, or if they're going to try to get it all here on 3rd and 15.
Lowry in the shotgun, Carter Brown on his left. 2 receivers split out wide each side of the formation. Lowry takes the drop back, lets it go over the middle, and almost intercepted by Yankton. Tegan LaCroix and Cale Hazelhorst were both near it. Intended target on the play was Griffin Wiebinga. And now 4th and 15 with under 10 seconds to go. Yankton looks like they're going to hold T potentially scoreless. The Titans going to go for it here. They might be right on the edge of their field goal range that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, maybe uncomfortable with that. They did have a chance to maybe cut it to 14 here if they can get a field goal. But either way, going for it. It would be a pretty long field goal from here at about the 26-yard line, maybe just more comfortable taking a shot towards the end zone, or at least trying to pick up a first down.
You're looking at a 40-plus yard field goal from here. So Lowry in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, play action pass going to Griffin Wiebinga in the end zone, intercepted by Yankton. LaCroix gets out of bounds, and there's still 2 seconds on the clock here at Crane Youngworth Field, Most likely going to be a kneel down to just go to the halftime break, but I wouldn't put anything past this aggressive Yankton offense.
Yeah, I don't think you got to weigh risk versus reward here. Good job, get the stop, you get the turnover on that. I think take the knee here, be comfortable going up 17 into the half.
It looks like Yankton is going to go with a safety formation here. They're just going to kneel this one out. Bestie's going to go under center. And kneel it down. We're going to the halftime break. Yankton leads 17-0 going into the break. Both teams exchanging penalties and turnovers late on in this one. But the Bucks in the control right now. We'll see what happens in the second half of this one. Your halftime break when we come back. Yankton leads 17-0 here at Crane Youngworth Field. Back in 3 minutes.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, now through November 11th, along with Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Are you on track to retire? I'm Adam Boelter, a certified financial planner with Vantage Financial, born and raised in Yankton, South Dakota. My team and I pride ourselves on building trust through clear, honest advice tailored to your unique goals. From retirement planning to smart tax strategies, we'll create a personalized plan to help you feel confident and secure about your financial future. Visit vfplanning.com or search Adam Boelter Vantage Financial to schedule a 15-minute call today.
Vantage Financial Partners is a registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of Vantage by the SEC, nor does it indicate that Vantage has attained a particular level of skill or ability.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tykrow in Yankton today.
Welcome back in here for your halftime report brought to you by Avera. Visit avera.org today. We're going to start things off right away with your halftime stat recap brought to you by Mayor Signs. Mayor Signs offers all types of signs, including exterior and interior signage, fleet wraps, digital signs, and more. Consider the possibilities today. They're on 4th and Broadway in Yankton. Look at overall team stats so far. Yankton outgaining T area, 257 to 164, but these two teams gaining yards in very different ways. 244 yards passing for Yankton, only 13 yards rushing, 112 yards rushing for T compared to 52 yards passing.
Yeah, just not much going in the run game for Yankton, but we talked about the polar opposite there. The passing game working well. Problem is the turnovers. We talked about they're up 17-0, but the turnover is kind of killing Yankton there. towards the end of that first half. But at the end of the day, up 17-0. Carter Boomsma, 3 big catches. He's got 115 yards tonight, Brayden, and he's been great.
You mentioned the turnovers. 5 turnovers between the two teams, 2 interceptions for each team, and then Yankton had a scoop and score fumble recovery that went against the Titans. But Carter Boomsma, hats off to him today. 3 catches, 115 yards, a touchdown, a long of 72. We've seen that T's defense is not creeping up and playing that press anymore since that long bomb over the top to Boomsma.
Yeah, they've kind of had to adjust to that because they're realizing, okay, Yankton's testing us vertically. We got to ease up a little bit on that. It's been better since those first couple drives, but either way, they find themselves down 17-0 here. That's a tough spot for an offense that wants to run the football.
Tate Bestie at quarterback is... It's weird to call it a mixed bag considering the yardage he has. 244 yards and a touchdown on 13 completions, but 2 interceptions. Really sour things with that first half. I know Tate, coming out of the halftime break, is going to want to cut down on those turnovers.
Yeah, and the first one, whatever, it happens. You're kind of in a long situation. You throw it deep, it happens. The second one just kind of missed a read over on the left side towards the pylon, had a guy open, didn't see him, threw it in the middle there towards the slot, and ended up in an interception, a big return there that kind of cost Yankton some points. But, yeah, he knows wanting to clean those up and knows he's got it in the second half.
Edley Amaro has been the defensive leader today for Yankton. 7 total tackles, 3 of them recorded for loss. He's followed by Madden McQuaid with 5. Obviously, a couple interceptions for Yankton. Tegan LaCroix got on the board with 1. And then a fumble recovery, scoop and score. Easton Feeser took 1 back to the house. That's your halftime stat recap here, brought to you by Mayor Signs. When we come back in 3 minutes, we're going to have your out-of-town scoreboard, take a look at things around Class 11 AA and the surrounding area. We're back in 3 minutes with your halftime report here on KYNT, KYN-TV.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury, check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back. Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Now located on Summit Street across from the high school.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, right here in Yankton, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Rhonda and her team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Rhonda Westland, it's easy to switch and save. Just give her a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Big news, Nebraska. Avera Health Plans is now offering Medicare supplement plans in select counties in your state. If you're looking for dependable coverage, freedom to choose your own doctors, and peace of mind with fewer out-of-pocket costs, Avera Health Plans has you covered. Call Missouri River Associates today to learn more about Avera Medicare supplements now available in Nebraska. That's 665-6885. Get the coverage you deserve with a name you can trust.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYNTV. It's your halftime report brought to you by Avera. Visit Avera.org today. Time to look at your out-of-town scoreboard from Top Notch Window Cleaners. Window cleaning for commercial or residential. Let Top Notch Window Cleaning brighten your days. We're taking a look at things going on around Class 11AA, Josh, and we have some interesting scores here early on today.
Yeah, obviously we've got a top 5 matchup here, but there's another one going on at Lyle Hare Stadium. It's Spearfish, number 4 Spearfish against number 3 Pier. That game, as we have it, is 7-0 Spearfish. Taking a look at the rest of 11AA, Huron, number 1 Huron, up 21-3 at the end of the half against Mitchell. Brookings up 56-0 on Douglas. Watertown up 22-0 on Sturgis. And then the 11AA AAA matchup this week, Sioux Falls Lincoln up 21-7 on Aberdeen in the second quarter. And then, of course, here, Yankton up 17-0 on T.
Looking at some other games going on in the Yankton area, our sphere of coverage here at KYNT and KYNTV. Avon trails Freeman Marion Freeman Academy 36-8. That's with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter at last check. Gayville Vollen with a big win over Trip Delmont Armor and the Central Dakota Christian. 40-0 victory for the Raiders. That was at Gayville Vollen High School. Irene Wakanda's up big on Colomb in the first half. 54-0 nearing the halftime break. Scotland Minnow fell to Alcester Hudson. They got a final there, 64-16. Vermilion's up 2 scores on Dakota Valley on the road. That's at the halftime break. 14-0 Tanager lead. And, of course, our game here, Yankton leads T area 17-0. On the Nebraska side of things, continuing our sphere of coverage on the across the Missouri River. It's not wanting to load. I know one thing for certain. Cedar Catholic got credited with a forfeit win this week. Oakland Craig unfortunately had to cancel their varsity season, so it goes down in the books as a 1-0 forfeit win for the Trojans. At the halftime break in Crofton, the Warriors lead the Boyd County Spartans 42-0, and also at the half, why not up big on Bancroft Rosalie, 43-6 in that one. We do have a final from yesterday for our sphere of coverage. Hartington Newcastle defeated Bloomfield last night 49-14 to wrap up their regular season. But as your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Top Notch Window Cleaners. We're going to take another break here on KYNT and KYNTV. When we come back in 4 minutes, we're going to get ready for kickoff here in half number 2. Back in 4 minutes here at Crane Youngworth Field.
Does anyone in your family have macular degeneration? At Vision Care Associates, we are dedicated to delivering the highest standard of eye care, utilizing the latest medical advancements to protect and improve your vision. That's why we offer ZX Pro, a new technology that measures the risk for macular degeneration. ZX Pro is a test used to assess macular health before signs of macular degeneration even begin. Be proactive and schedule an appointment.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, now through November 11th, along with Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer is the perfect treat. Brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
The Boathouse is for everyone. Axe throwing, mini bowling, shuffleboard, beanbag, golf, pool, and darts. Plus awesome food and drinks with lots of cold craft beers and other beverages. Some say the Boathouse is the most fun you can have on land. Trivia on Tuesday nights, music bingo on Wednesdays with live music on Friday night. This is downtown Yankton's fun gathering place for all ages. If you can't be on the boat or at a Bucks or Gazelles game, then it's the Boathouse.
Want to take the hassle out of servicing your heating or cooling system? Then sign up for the Kaiser Signature Membership Program. This is Chris Frick with Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Not only will you get peace of mind knowing your units are being serviced regularly, but being a Kaiser Signature member gives you priority service, a discount on parts and labor, and no overtime rates. Take comfort and let our qualified professional technicians keep you running.
Be the wiser and go with Kaiser. Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Welcome back here on KYNC and KYN-TV. We're getting ready for your third quarter of action. At the break, Yankton leads T area 17-0, but it has not been a flawless day at the office for the Bucks, to say the least. A couple interceptions for Tate Bestie, but also for the Bucks quarterback. Over 240 yards passing and a touchdown in that first half. So give and take has been the name of the game in half number one.
For Tate, one of which kind of cost Yankton some points. But then on the T side of things, you fumble, you have a scoop and score for Easton Fieser, led to a touchdown for the Bucks. I think both teams kind of looking at these turnovers and where they're at and going, okay, that's going to be really key to clean it up here in the second half.
Yeah, two turnovers for Yankton, 3 turnovers for the Titans, and penalties were another thing in that first half. 8 penalties cost the Titans 37 yards, and 6 penalties cost the Bucks 35 yards. So both teams are going to clean those up in half number 2 as well. Bucks are back on the sideline. Titans still getting warmed up and ready to go for half number 2. Yankton will kick off, and they will go left to right as you see it and hear it here on KYNT and KYN-TV. That is east to west here at Crane Youngworth Field. The Titans in their white jerseys will now go right to left, west to east here at Crane.
Yeah, and like you said, we'll see the Yankton defense first. We talked about the turnovers, a couple tackles for loss, 3 for Edley Amaro on that, we should mention, by the way. He's been great. Yeah, we're going to see the defense first and see what they can do, try to get this ball back to the Yankton offense. Pitching a shutout once again. We've talked about how good of a defense they've been, specifically in the first half this season. That continued tonight. Looking to continue it now into the second half as well.
Looking in totality for Edley Amaro in that first half, Josh, you mentioned those 3 tackles for loss, 7 total tackles, 5 of them were unassisted. He's the team leader right now in all 3 of those stat categories. Edley Amaro has made his presence felt in the opening 24 minutes. We still got 24 to go in the second half to see if he can keep things rolling.
Yeah, and we'll see what we can do here as they get going, and the defense looking to make things happen here. Yankton is on the field ready to go. Wait for the T special teams to take the field, and we'll get underway here in the second half.
12 minutes on the clock in the third quarter. Yankton leads 17-0. Liam Villanueva, as soon as he gets the ball from the official, there he goes, will tee this thing up at his own 40-yard line. 2 returners back deep for the Titans. Lucas Randall, who bobbled a kickoff to start things today, but also had a big interception return that almost ended in T points at the end of the half there ends up not mattering in the end, but a huge play for him. Also back there to return for T. Looks like number 23, Cade Koleski. Villanueva ready to go and boots this thing away. It'll be received at about the 6-yard line here by the Titans. Some space up the middle, but that is shut down quickly. Titans will start with the ball basically at their own 20. On the return there was number 2, Lucas Randall.
And this is an offense for T taking the field the first time in the second half. They were really, really good at running the football, I thought, in that first half. The problem is turnovers and penalties kind of killed some drives. They find themselves down 17 here, trying to get something going here and just get some points on the board, Brayden.
Got 80 yards to go if they want their first touchdown of the day. Lowry goes under center. And it'll be a handoff to the wingback here. That's Koleski trying to go off the right side. Nothing doing. Gain of 1 as whistle blows as his momentum was stopped. 2nd and 9 now from their own 21-yard line for T.
Yeah, and very similar to play how they started the first half on their first drive, trying to swing that around on a handoff, and not much there, if anything at all, about a yard and a half, like you said. Now T sitting in a 2nd and 9 here, looking to see what they can do.
Under center again goes Lowry. Titans not getting away from their system here as Lowry hands that one up off the middle and going nowhere. Handoff on that play was to Belos, but he was able to shake out there late, but that's after the whistle blew and Yankton had released him from their grasp.
Yeah, I think it was Chase Platt and company in on that play, making another stop, and now a 3rd and long here to start for T in the second half.
You could tell me a lot more shocking things than Chase Platt getting involved on a tackle. Team high coming into today, 45 tackles for Chase. 3rd and 9 here for the Titans. Lowry goes under center. 1 receiver split out wide each side of the formation. 2 wingbacks and a fullback. Lowry's going to take the drop back. Stop at about his 15. Fire over the middle. Intercepted by Carter Boomsma. Has some blockers in front of him. He's going to be brought down around the 9-yard line. Big interception there for Yankton. And Boomsma has Yankton rolling here to start the second half of play.
Yeah, big interception there from the senior defensive back, making a play. And we talked about how Yankton had a scoop and score that led to some points and a touchdown on that in the first half. The pick gets started here in the second half. We'll see what they can do now starting here at about the 9-yard line.
You saw it again if you're watching on KYN TV on your Vision Care Associates replay, but going over the middle, Wiebenga it seemed to be the intended target, but the throw out of his reach, and Boomsma was just able to get there and bring it in. Handoff off the right side. Jason Sedlacek falls forward for a couple yards, brings up 2nd and goal from about the 7 here for Yankton. The Bucks are operating from the Midwest Insurance Agency red zone as well here to start their second half.
Yeah, and Yankton struggling to really get the ground game going here. Jason Sedlacek averaging under 2 yards a carry in that first half, and really nothing really as a team run the football there.
Pistol formation, and Bestie looks out right side, has a man. That's Owen Eidsness brought down along the boundary. He's inside the 5, and I don't know if there was a miscommunication there. It looks like Jace was trying to go for a handoff off the backside of Bestie. That might have been one of those RPOs as well where Bestie saw something where he just ditched the run entirely out of the gate.
Yeah, I wonder there if that was an RPO or maybe a play pass or something like that on that. But either way, a successful game for the Bucks now sitting with 3rd and goal from the 3.
3rd and goal, as you said, and they're going to hand it off to Sedlacek up the middle. Follows his blockers into the end zone for 6. And Jason Sedlacek, the tough rushing yards, have now come for a touchdown for Sedlacek. Yankton takes the lead 23-0 pending this extra point.
Yeah, and that's big there. You get the turnover. Defense really turning things into points here. I mean, you can more or less credit 14 points this game to the defense, right? The way they're playing and forcing turnovers and things. But the offense still got to take advantage of it, capitalize, and put it in. They do there. Get a touchdown to start the second half.
Kevin Ortiz already 2 for 2 on extra points today, 1 for 2 on field goals. This one is up and through the uprights. It's good. Yankton leads 24-0. Still only a 3-score advantage technically, but it looks a lot nicer on the scoreboard. Let's take a look again at that scoring play on your Vision Care Associates replay. And I want to slow this down here out of the gate, Josh, because I love when Jason Sedlacek does this. It reminds me of Le'Veon Bell, Diet Le'Veon Bell. Puts his left hand right into the back of his lead blocker, Austin Conway, and just follows him as Conway's falling forward into the end zone. Big play there for the Bucks. Didn't need to go a long way, but it was important that they got those yards.
Yeah, did what you had to do, punch that one in, that's big. You had to get points out of that, and they do. So now we'll see this Yankton defense again, who's forced 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions on the evening. They're the reason why Yankton up big here in this one.
Scoreboard update brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, the go-to place for specialized wellness and therapy. And that scoring drive from Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations. Liam Villanueva tees it up at his own 40-yard line. 2 returners. Actually, they're going to go 1 returner back deep. Randall stands in his own end zone. A couple more guys in front of him. So a different look for kick return here for the Titans. Might be trying to get some lead blockers flying V formation to bust Randall loose. Villanueva here, taking his time. Now he starts his run up, and he'll send this one away. Randall will let it fall into the end zone. A touchback there means 1st and 10 at their own 20 for the T-Area Titans. Liam Villanueva, when I talked to him earlier this week, mentioned wanting to cut down on touchbacks in the punting game, but in the kicking game, those are really important. You don't see a lot of kickers who are able to boot it to the end zone like that.
Yeah, and Liam's got a big leg, and he is capable of doing that. So now T once again sitting at their own 20. They're down 24 here, Brayden. Another turnover there, just trying to find something on offense.
And Villanueva was getting a couple attaboys from his teammates on the sideline. The Titans, though, maybe a little desperate here. Fake the handoff here. Lowry looking downfield for Wiebenga, too far. And a flag flying from the back line here. Might get a defensive holding or a defensive pass interference potentially.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what this was. I think Wiebenga broke kind of late. I think you could call PI here in the defense, but also Yankton, you also maybe could see a push off here. I'd have to go back and look at it again, and I think this is going to be on Yankton here. Yeah, they're going to get Boomsma for DPI.
Legal use of hands.
Don't usually see that on a corner. Usually that's something you see on a lineman or something like that, but they're called on the cornerback who just had the big pick the last time the defense was out here.
So 1st and 10 now from their own 30 for the Titans. Basically from the center field between the 2 hashes. Empty set here for Lowry, and it's going to be a pot pass off the right side. And Korleski has some space, but he's tripped up by his own wide receiver. Griffin Wiebenga fell to the turf. Korleski tried to go over the top of him and got his feet caught.
I was going to say, still a nice game, but you can credit Wiebenga with the tackle there on that pot pass. And another frustrating break, but still a good gain on that play. And T just once again trying to find a way to get this ball moving and avoid the mistakes, the penalties, the turnovers here, and trying to get some points on the board.
And T able to cut the sticks in half with that one. Brings up 2nd and 5 from the 35. There'll be a handoff up the gut. No, pulled it on the read option, but not much space on that one. Lowry had a big success in the first half on the read option, but there only about 2 yards, makes it 3rd and 3.
And that looked like Gavin Johnson and Easton Feeser in on the play there, doing a good job there, keeping the contain, forcing Lowry, the quarterback, to cut inside on that. Really wasn't much to gain here. Now another big 3rd down. This Titans offense just trying to keep the drive alive.
Lowry in the first half was credited for only 17 yards rushing, and Josh, his long run on the read option was given for 20 to give an idea of how the running game's been going for him today. Shotgun formation here for the Titans. Handoff off the right side. Korleski at the line again. Falls forward. Gets the first down. Actually, they marked him at the 40. They are moving the chains. Okay. I was worried for a second there, but close at the line to gain. Got just enough what they needed. 1st and 10 at their own 40 now for the Titans.
Yeah, right where you need it, and that's so important, right? You're down 3 scores still. Game not quite out of hand yet. Got to find a way to get some points, though, on this drive, and got the first down there to keep that alive.
Be a handoff, a wingback sweeping around there. Looks like Brown, and he is still fighting forward here. Was initially met about a yard past the line of scrimmage. Ends up gaining 6 to bring up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and I was going to say, heck of an effort there by Brown. I thought he was going to be stuffed at about the line of scrimmage there, but he was able to drag a couple guys for 5 or 6 yards in that play and make something out of nothing.
We've seen that a lot tonight from the Titans, and it's not for a lack of effort from the Bucs defense. These are just some tough runners. Made the joke earlier, but everybody ate their Wheaties this morning when it comes to the Titans. Lowry's going to go under center. Fullback behind him, 2 wingbacks to either side of the formation. We a handoff to that fullback, Belos, who makes the first man miss, cuts out right side. Stiff arms Carter Boomsma, but the turf monster's wearing red as Belos slips down. Big gain, though. 1st and 10 in Yankton territory for the Titans at the Bucks 45.
Yeah, Yankton won on the edges there on both sides, but not really up the middle there, and Belos is able to carry it for a nice gain, and once again, another first down here for the Titans.
You're always going to have that dive option with these triple option offenses, and dive option worked really well there for the Titans. And they'll hand it off to Belos again up the middle. A wide gap, and Belos has 6. Nobody's going to get him. T-Area is on the board for the first time tonight, and it's that dive option, Josh, that worked well for the Titans.
Yeah, right up the middle there. Easy run right in the end zone, untouched. Big play. T needed that to stay alive in this game. They're going to probably go for 2 here. You would think maybe being down that 24 going into this drive, they need 3 touchdowns and 2-point conversions. However, they're going for the extra point here.
Yeah, Cameron Hillestad, the sophomore, is on the kick. Looks like Lowry to hold. Snap is good. Hold is down. I thought I heard a whistle. Kick is up. And there was a whistle down there. So they're going to re-rack something here. The white hat explaining things to the guys on the field.
Yeah, and if this is on Yankton, I'm going to say it again. I'd probably consider going for 2 here if I'm T.
We did not have a whistle. The ball's ready to play.
There's an incidental whistle there.
So we'll do it again. I think. Yes.
You got to feel bad if you're T if this ends up being a missed extra point because Hillestad hit the first one. Yankton's blocked an extra point this season as well. So a couple things to keep an eye on here. Snap is good. Hold down. Hillestad's kick up. This one good as well. So no harm, no foul in the end. 24-7 your score as we look at that touchdown run again in your Vision Care Associates replay. Just the dive option of the middle. Belos makes a jump cut at about the 40, and it is off to the races. Nobody going to get him. Big run there for Belos and touchdown for T. We're going to take a break here on KYNT and KYN TV. Come back in 30 seconds with the kickoff. This is Yankton Bucks football. KYNT, KYN TV.
Credit union people are my people. Dreaming big, keeping life simple. Saving smart, living free at Explorers Credit Union. You're just like me. We chart new trails, we stand tall. Together we rise, together we call. Credit union people are my people, it's true. And I found my crew at Explorers CU. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit explorerscu.com to join the journey today.
Only the second time tonight we've seen the kickoff team for the Titans. The opening kick and now the first score coming with under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. 24-7 your score. Yankton on top by 17 here at Crane Youngworth Field. Owen Eidsness, Tegan LaCroix back deep to return. They're both set up at about their own 7-yard lines. Hillestad boots this one away, angled towards LaCroix. He fields it at his own 11. And LaCroix starts on the left side, tries to cut out right side, gets a good lead block. LaCroix loses the football, though. Back on top of it, Tegan LaCroix saving a potential disaster there. Was trying to follow the block. It's similar to the fumble we saw for T-Area earlier where he kind of ran into his own blocker and had it pop out that way.
Yeah, able to get on top of it there. Yankton catching a bit of a break. That could have been a disaster. But now we're going to see this offense, Brayden, really for the first time in the second half. I know they had that little 9-yard, that really long 9-yard drive a few minutes ago, but it's really been T on offense the entire second half. So Yankton capitalized on a Sid Logic run there off the turnover and getting in. But now their set first full drive here the second half.
Bestie's going to send Amaro in motion, right side to left side of the formation. Bestie takes the snap, handoff, Sedlacek tries to follow his lead blockers. Some of the best running room he's had all day. And that being said, it's only going to be about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, just once again, it's been tough in the trenches here for this Yankton run game. Nothing really going, and saw it there again on that play on first down.
Second down and 7 now officially for the Bucks. They're at the 20-yard line. Bestie in the shotgun again. Sedlacek in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Another handoff to Sedlacek, trying to get something going up the middle, but that's going to be a loss of a yard, I think, and brings up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and I'm surprised here. Yankton, after really sticking with the passing game in the first half, not really committing to the run game, go back-to-back run plays here, trying to get something going there. Not really find anything now, trying to avoid a quick 3-and-out here, trying to get something.
They got that double bracket on Carter Boomsma, top of the formation. Man coverage throughout the rest of it. Bestie takes the belt high snap, looks right side, has Owen Eisness out near the line to gain, tries to dive forward, and they're going to say just short of the first down marker. Call it 4th and 1. Eisness's late effort doesn't get him a fresh set of downs, and Yankton, they like to be aggressive, but backed up like this, they're going to bring on the punt unit.
Yeah, and a quick punt after a long time T's had this football in the second half. Yankton punt on a quick 3-and-out here, and T going to be looking at good field position as well. This is, I believe, only Yankton's second punt of the evening as well, we should add.
Seeing Villanueva come on here. His first punt started the T drive at their own 20-yard line. This one going to be received at the T37, and good punt coverage there. Kylan O'Connor swings down the returner. That was Devin Rhodes, the freshman, who got wrapped up. Short gain on the return, but I think the best starting field position of the night for T outside of turnovers. 1st and 10 from their own 42.
Yeah, this is pretty good field position for T. I think the other one I can remember off the top of my head was about the 35 off a kickoff out of bounds. Other than that, though, yeah, it's one of the better field position spots for T. They're coming off a big run there on that last drive to get a touchdown, and they need it. Now they have a chance to really get back in this ball game here if they can add points on this drive.
Nearing the 5-minute mark here in quarter number 3. Yankton leads 24-7. Brayden Butler and Josh Boelter on the call here for KYNT and KYN-TV. Wingback up the middle. That's Korleski. Gains about 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
45-yard line by number 3, Easton.
From the T45.
2nd and 7.
Yeah, and now just once again, though, they're getting those 3-4-yard gains and have another one right there sitting at about a 2nd and 6 here. Lowry, the quarterback, getting the call and running into the huddle. He's getting his steps in tonight, that's for sure.
Speaking of getting the steps in, I'm excited to see what Belos is at after this third quarter. He's the fullback. Back behind the quarterback, Lowry under center. They're going to hand it off to him up the gut. His probably shortest run of the third quarter goes for about 5 yards.
And now sitting in a 3rd and short here, and this is where T wants to live, right? This is something where they're sitting 3rd and short, and they want to run the ball probably up the middle here. You got to assume as well, if they don't get it on 3rd, probably going for it on 4th here, right at about midfield. Just looking to keep this drive alive once again, but they said got to think they have 2 plays to do it here. So they're kind of lining up more in the gun. I'm a little surprised by this, Brayden.
Looks like a shotgun here. 2 running backs in the backfield. One of them could be activated as a lead blocker here. Lowry will hand it off, and a false start gets called. And now, from right where you want to live to basically out on the street, Josh, from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and what they were trying to do there is they were going to have the right guard, Stonke. He was pulling on that. He pulled a little early, got a bit of a head start, and that's big there. All of a sudden, kind of changes probably completely what T wants to do here on this 3rd down call.
And they want to get lead blockers off that left side because those split running backs in the backfield, the running back on the left, Brown, I believe it was, got going as well. Trying to lead off that left side. But now T going to go back under center on a 3rd and 7. We lost the deep back. And it'll be a handoff up the gut to the fullback. Belos breaks the first tackle, but Easton Feeser wraps him up. And that's the kind of tackles that you want to see. Maybe not going to the ground like that, but Feeser had him basically around the thigh pads and hugged him tight to get other guys to the ball.
Yeah, good job of getting the stop there, but now it's close enough at about 4th and 2 here. You got to think T's going for it. We're in the late stages of the 3rd quarter. They're down 17 here. Got to get something. I think, yeah, and we are seeing this team huddle up. They're going for it here, Brayden. At the very least, trying to get Yankton to jump maybe if they can.
And Belos got those penalty yards back. 4th and 2 at the 50-yard line. Empty set here. One receiver going to go in motion. They're going to fake it to him. Defense not fooled. Big tackle for a loss. In there were Madden McQuaid and Austin Conway. And Daishel Lowry picking turf out of his face mask there with a huge tackle for a loss. And that is Yankton's defense bringing the lumber today. Brought to you by Mead Lumber. Check our social media pages early next week for that clip again. But bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Mead Lumber.
And that's a momentum-changing play right there, Brayden. 4th and 2. You felt like T was starting to get some of that momentum. They had the touchdown. They get the quick stop. And looking to get something on 4th and 2. Madden McQuaid and Austin Conway said no thank you and got the ball back this offense. Big stop there on 4th down.
Say they wanted to get off the field, but Austin Conway's right back out there at left tackle, and I wouldn't be surprised. McQuaid's been lined up as an H-back before. Handoff up the gut, Sedlacek jukes inside, gets to the 40-yard line, maybe down to the 39. So a nice little gain there for Jay Sedlacek. They're going to give him a gain of 7 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 3 from the tee for 39.
Yeah, and one of Yankton's best runs of the day, Brayden. About 5-6 yards on that, and Jace was able to find a hole and get a nice carry there.
Despite its lack of effectiveness at time, I do respect the commitment to the run game that Yankton is still showing with Jay Sedlacek, as those 3-yard gains are turning into more here late in the 3rd quarter. That's a first down for Jay Sedlacek, down to the 32-yard line of the Titans. So another decent little run there for Jace.
Yeah, nice run there, and this is really the most effective we've seen this Yankton rushing attack look tonight. A couple nice gains there to get a first down.
Go shotgun again here for Tate Bestie. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Ball placed at the Titans' 32-yard line. Sedlacek in the backfield with his quarterback, Bestie, off the right hip pocket. And it'll be another handoff. Sedlacek eventually, originally got met at the line of scrimmage there by a decent push on the Titans' line, but getting a couple yards on that play for Jace, gets down to the 30.
Yeah, able to get a little bit out of that, and it's better than nothing because that looked like it was going backwards real quick. Jace did a good job of making a guy miss and falling forward to get a couple yards.
This interior push by the T-area Titans defense has been honestly incredible all night long on these running plays. Especially since they really only have 2 guys with their hand on the dirt right now. Now a 3rd guy puts his hand down. Shotgun set again. Handoff Sedlacek. Tries to bounce it out left side. Falls forward for a gain of a couple more. They're going to give him about 3 that time. So down to the T27. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, 3rd manageable here for Yankton. You know, you got to imagine they're going to the pass game. If they go to the run here, don't be surprised if Yankton decides to go for it, Brayden. Maybe they try to get a couple more yards and make it 4th and short, but that's all going to dictate here what happens on 3rd down before we even get to a possible 4th. But if they run it, don't be surprised if you see 2 plays here.
Right now it would be a 40-plus yard field goal, and it's going to be a play action. Bestie looks out right, tries to get it to Edley Amaro, but too tall for Amaro. A flag did fly on the far side of the field, and Sedlacek kind of threw his head back and shook his head. I think that's going against Yankton.
Yeah, I think it is going to Yankton, and I think T's going to decline it. I would almost even consider accepting it there, but either way, you do force them to a 4th down and 5 here, and you're kind of in that weird area. They are going to kick the field goal, and I think they're going to roll Liam Villanueva out here for one of those longer field goal attempts, see if he can put it through the uprights.
Liam told me on Wednesday, I don't have video evidence, that his long is 55 in practice.
Yeah, I believe that. Big leg. We saw him, I think it was about a 47-yarder maybe earlier this year that he missed just right, or just left here. It's on the other end of the field here at Crane. He's got the big leg. We know he can hit it.
This one's from 44 for Villanueva to put the Bucks up 27 to 7. Villanueva puts his leg through it. It's up. It's got the distance, but it's wide left. And that's going to be 0 for 2 on the season for Liam Villanueva. But he's shown that he has the leg to get it there. Just getting between the uprights is that last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's, I think, going to come more with consistency, right? We've talked about that's only his 2nd field goal attempt of the year, and it's tough to get him in there when you have such an accurate kicker from distance in Kevin Ortiz. So, his attempts are a little bit more limited because of how good Kevin is and how accurate he is, but we know the leg there, and I think, it's just a matter of once he can find it, we know he can get. We know he has the distance.
And you could make the argument of only get Liam out there on extra points. Kevin hasn't missed an extra point since the first week of the season, so you're not going to cool off the hot hand. But he gets a helmet tap and attaboy from Liam Villanueva from his special teams coordinator Brady Hale. Unhappy with the result, but happy with the execution there in the end. Handoff up the gut, Belos, and he has a lot of space. That's actually Korleski, excuse me, used to Belos being that deep fullback. He's brought down at the 36-yard line of the Titans. Big gain there for T. Move the chains again, 1st and 10.
Yeah, a little bit more traditional run game there. Power just right off the right side. Get a nice gain to start this drive.
1st and 10 Titans. We are nearing the 30-second mark here in the 3rd quarter. Yankton leads 24-7. Brayden Butler and Josh Boelter in the broadcast booth today for KYNT and KYN TV. This is senior night for the Bucks. Final time they get to suit up in front of their home crowd in the regular season. I formation, triple option off the right side, pitched out to Korleski. Not much doing there. All options were covered by the Bucs defense. Gain of 1, maybe 2. They're going to say 1. They're going to say nothing, actually. Market's still at the 36.
Yeah, and when you run the triple option to the shorter side of the field, Brayden, if that dive's taken away, it really kind of limits what you can do as you're kind of running out of room over there on the sideline. You saw it on that play. T just ran out of room. Yankton did a good job with that and got the stop on that play.
Play did go out of bounds, so the clock is stopped under 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 from their own 36. I formation again here for the Titans. And it's going to be a straight handoff up the gut. Korleski beats the initial blockers. A flag flies in there as well. We'll see who this is against. But Korleski does fall down for a gain of about 6 on the play, I want to say.
Yeah, made something out of nothing there. Was able to stumble forward for a nice game, but obviously that's penalty pending. And I think, based on the reaction of the T offense, I think they know they're going backwards.
Penalties have just been such a factor in this one. We're under 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Oh, it's a face mask against the defense.
That's big there for T. Obviously, you get the first down, you get another 15 yards here as we go towards the end of the third quarter. Need some explosive plays, and if they come in penalties, I think T will take that too.
Makes it 1st and 10 from the Yankton 44-yard line. T in plus territory now. They did adjust the clock here at Crane Youngworth Field up to 11 seconds now on the clock.
Fresh set of downs there. Once again, just huge for T. They are going to run the clock here. I wonder if I don't even think T's going to run a play here. They'll just take this to the 4th.
We're going to go to the 4th quarter. The quarter break brought to you by Conkling Distributing. Yankton leads 24-7 over the T area Titans here on senior night. We're back in 30 seconds here on KYNT, KYN-TV. Check that. Back in 1 minute for your 4th quarter.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. At the UPS store in Yankton, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
Thank you. We're back live from Crane Youngworth Field. Brayden, 24-7 is your score here. Yankton leads at the start of the 4th quarter, but T with the ball on about the Yankton 45-yard line.
Yeah, 4th quarter of play, and this is where, bread gets buttered in Class 11 AA. T trying to push downfield and cut into this deficit. Handoff up the gut. Belos breaks off the initial tackle again. The guy's just a machine, Josh. It takes $3 or $4 just to even think about bringing him down.
Yeah, and this T offense, we've seen it. They've been able to run the football all night, Brayden. They're doing a really good job. It's just been those turnovers and penalties and things like that have killed some drives. But getting a nice gain there and trying to get this back down to 2 scores is obviously crucial on this drive if they want to have a chance at the end of this football game.
For those interested heading into the 4th quarter, Hayden Belos is over 130 yards rushing. He had 132 coming in. That was a gain of about 6, so he's at 138 now. He is the fullback again. They'll hand it to him. Up the middle, whistles are going to blow, and they'll blow that play dead, which usually means a snap infraction.
Yeah, probably what you're going to see here, which once again is big on that. False start is going to be the call here.
So basically erases Belos' opening run, makes it 2nd and 9. We've talked about it at length today. Both teams bit by the penalty bug. That is the 10th penalty of the game for T. They've lost 47 yards on those penalties. Yankton's got 8 penalties of their own. They've lost more yardage. It's been 60 yards against the Bucs. So neither team is going to be happy with the play discipline heading into the final week of the regular season.
Yeah, and that's something, both coaches obviously frustrated with that as this goes on, and it's in a spot here where T trying to crawl back into this football game, down 3 scores as we get a play pass here.
And it's going deep downfield into double coverage, almost connecting down that right sideline. That was a gutsy throw there to Carter Brown from Lowry, but 2 defenders in coverage. Looked like Drotzman and Feeser down that right side.
Yeah, and I thought for a second there Lowry did fit that one in, and Brown was going to come down with it, but Yankton able to get that one incomplete here. It's now a 3rd down for T. Once again, you got to assume at this point in the game, probably 2 downs here to get 9 yards, but obviously hoping to get something here past the chains on 3rd down.
It's the old cliche of a tire on a rope in the backyard hanging from the tree. I think that would have been a wider window than the throw that Lowry almost made right there. Heck of a play from him, but 3rd and 9 for the Titans. Face mask, high snap, handoff off the left side. Belos cuts upfield, gets initially hit at the 40, and then pushed back at the 39. Madden McQuaid and Easton Feeser there. Whistle blows to end the play. Belos upset about it, spiked the ball on the ground afterwards. No flags there. That's just a kid. He's got it's an emotional game, and he's turned up. He knows how he can run the football and run through players. He's a little upset that one got blown dead, in his opinion, maybe a little early.
Yeah, but a sweet play there, Brayden. And what's key about that, you don't get the 1st down, but you cut the sticks in half here, make it a 4th and manageable here, about 4th and 5. Much better, obviously, than being in a 4th and 9. So now you see what you can do here with 4th and 5. Have to have it here through this T offense, so.
Lowry in the shotgun, running back on his left hip pocket. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. It's the most spread that we've seen, I think, all night. Pass, fired, left side, caught for the 1st down, just past the sticks. Miles Drotzman brought down the receiver on that one. It looks like caught on that play by Bonenberger, but there is some laundry on the field, so that might be negated.
Yeah, Brayden, they're marking this one short. I thought that was good for a 1st down. We'll see what the penalty is, obviously, as well, but to me, from my eyes, that looked like a 1st down for T.
If it's not a 1st down, obviously the penalty will affect things if it goes against T.
Illegal shift against the offense.
It is an illegal shift against the offense, so it won't matter. But if they were going to mark that short, Josh, I mean, we're Yankton's home team, KYNT, KYNTV, but would have been a little upsetting to see from the broadcast booth. It was a good play I ran, but unfortunately, march off 5 yards on the penalty brings up 4th and a long 9 here.
Yeah, 4th and a long 9. Probably got to go for it here. You're in plus territory. That is going to be the call here. And down 3 scores, like you said, got to go for it and got to have it.
Under 10 minutes to play. Yankton leads 24-7 here in the 4th quarter. T's had their moments tonight, but mistakes in the penalty game. Lowry looking downfield, has a man one-on-one, but out of reach there. I think the intended target was meant to be Bonenberger. Lowry led him more inside as if he wanted to run more of a post on that route, a skinny post, and Bonenberger was going down the sideline more.
Yeah, I think that was more so, like you said, I think that was a go. It's just, I don't know, I think Lowry's a little early on that and wasn't able to connect, and obviously a frustrating spot there, needed to have it, didn't get it, and now Yankton's offense, they're trying to get back on the field here, maybe possibly put this one out of reach, then get a touchdown, but as it stands right there, just T not able to connect on that play, trying to get it there.
It feels like they've been having their most rushing success of the day as of late for Yankton. Here's a handoff up the middle for Jay Sedlacek, and he continues plowing forward, gets about a 5-yard gain there, brings up 2nd and 5, cutting the sticks in half.
Yeah, cutting the sticks in half. And we talked about this T defense has been really good against the run here tonight. And really a good night overall for the T defense. Yankton has gotten some points off of turnovers and things like that. But it's been tough sledding for both these teams in the front lines and making both backs work for it.
Officially a 2nd and 6. Bestie looking right side, has Boomsma at the sticks, knocked away. Good defense there. Bestie, the way he acted initially, I think that he was wanting that to be just a screen quick out in the flat. Boomsma went downfield to about where the 1st down marker is. Breaking that play up was Cameron Hillestad, though.
And I think, Brayden, we saw some earlier on this down on the goal earlier in the game. I think that was supposed to almost be a play pass, play action there. And Chase just kind of zoomed through and they missed each other on the play action because, yeah, I think that might have supposed to have been a play action in that spot, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Bestie looking right side, has Owen Eisness. That connection's worked all season long, and it works for a 1st down into T territory. Down to the Titans' 43-yard line, 1st and $10.
That's something Yankton likes to do, Brayden. We've talked about it on 3rd down. They like to go on those curls, those short hitches on 3rd down towards the sideline. They get another one there for a completion here on 3rd to keep the drive alive.
Two backs in the backfield with the quarterback, Bestie. One of them is a receiver in Owen Eidsness. He's on the left. Jay Sedlacek on his right. Bestie will take the snap, handoff. Sedlacek up the middle, has a gaping hole, and he's cutting out left side. Now puts the foot in the dirt, upfield, first down for Yankton, almost into the red zone. That's got to be his longest run of the day, Josh, down to the T22.
Yeah, right about 20 yards on that. Jace hit the hole, saw it, hit it, and was able to bounce it out for a few more yards on that play. Yankton struggling in the run game, not on that play as they get a big gain, and once again moving towards the red zone.
Shotgun here again for the Bucks as they have been all night long. Two receivers right, one receiver left. It's Easton Feeser in the backfield as the running back. He'll take the handoff off the left side. Short gain there. Tried to fight for an extra yard. They're only going to give him 1 to the 21.
And I'd have to look at season stats, but I think that's his first carry of the year. You know, we talked about he missed a good amount of time this season with injury and how well he's been, or how well he's played on defense, and he's been back. Get him a carry on the offensive side of the ball there.
Yeah, his season debut 2 weeks ago on the road against Sturgis. That was the lone loss to an 11 AA school this year for the Bucks. 5-2 overall. Boomsma going to go in motion right side to left. All that. They play action actually here for Bestie. He's just going to throw this one away. Boomsma and Eidsness in the area, so no grounding on that one. But a flag is in the backfield here, and we'll see what this is about.
Yeah, good pass rush there from T. I thought Tate did a good job of throwing away, and there were a couple receivers in the area, so if this is grounding, I do have to disagree with it, but
I mean,
we'll
Owen caught the ball out of bounds, so I mean, there was a receiver over there.
And they're actually going to call holding on that. Okay.
That makes more sense from where the flag was thrown.
So I was like, grounding, that just doesn't add up, but either way, though, now Yankton moving backwards here after that holding penalty.
I say, if you're going to call grounding on Tate, I would have done it back in the first quarter. Where
that one over there, yeah, that we were talking about, where he kind of just pitched it off to the side, yeah.
Second and long now from the T 31-yard line after that penalty. 2nd and 19 officially. Bestie's going to take the chest high snap, roll right. He's looking downfield, and he is going to step up in the pocket into the pass rush. Big sack there for T area. Getting involved on that one, number 53, Kingston Nyberg, the senior defensive lineman. Also in there, I believe that was Emmett DeGeest.
Yeah, and this defensive line for T making their presence felt on this drive. Yankton going the wrong way with the sack there. All of a sudden sitting in 3rd and 28 here. My goodness.
Surprisingly, not the longest 3rd and long we've seen today.
Yeah, some penalties earlier. We remember that in the first half. T had, I think, a 3rd and 31 or something like that in the first half.
It was right there about. So both these teams matched in the longest 3rd and however many to go. Going to Owen Eidsness left side. He brings it in. A flag's going to fly over the top, too. It's short of the original line of scrimmage even on that pass to Owen Eidsness, but I think they're going to get Lucas Randall here with some sort of, I don't want to say targeting, but there was maybe a little helmet-to-helmet contact. That's one of those things where defenseless receiver, but Randall is also kind of going after the ball. It's an interesting place.
Right. He's trying to make a play on that ball. I think they are going to get him here for maybe unnecessary roughness or something like that. At the very least, maybe defensive pass interference or something. But, you know, I don't think he was necessary. I don't think the intent was necessarily there. I think he was going more, like you said, for the ball on that. And we'll see what the call is here.
By letter of the law, if they call unnecessary roughness because a hit to a defenseless receiver, I get it, but it's a call that doesn't sit well.
And then my question is on that, and it looks like that's what they're doing. Do you tack that on? If they're calling it unsportsmanlike, they are. That'll tack on, and that's probably a first down for the Bucks, if not very close here on 4th down. Yeah, it's going to be about a... Yeah, they will say 1st and goal here for the Bucks.
For those of you who might not have heard the official, he did signal the signal mostly associated with targeting. It wasn't targeting. It was an illegal hit to a defenseless receiver is the official call. It does bring up 1st and 10 Yankton, working into the Midwest Insurance Agency red zone here. Actually, no, they're going to bring up 3rd and short, but they are in the red zone here. 3rd and 1. That's how long Yankton had to go. They had about a 10-yard play and then a 15-yard penalty, and they're still short of the line to gain.
Yeah, 27 yards, though, between the catch and the penalty. Completely changes where obviously field position wise and situation wise where we're at in this game. Kind of looked like T was fixing to get off the field there. The catch and the penalty obviously kind of flipped that on its head.
The line to gain is not yet been met. The line to gain is the 12.
Okay, so there's the confusion. The officials did say 1st and goal on that, but then they're now correcting themselves. Have not gotten to the line to gain. Now 3rd and 1, or about
4th and 1.
4th and 1. Yeah, 4th and 1 here for the Bucks.
The officials were probably also a little caught off guard that a 15-yard penalty after a 12-yard pass didn't end in a first down. Now,
yeah, something's going on.
Now maybe the officials are talking. Is there an automatic first down involved with the hit to a defenseless receiver? Is that like word of the rule and everything? Just trying to get everything ironed out down here.
All right, they've broken up. Stay in 4th and 1. Yankton on the field. That's no. Okay, 3rd down and 1. They're saying it's a live ball foul. We have gotten it figured out, I think.
Well, if we carry the 2, it's 3rd and 1. Don't ask me to explain it. I'm sorry. This is logic in the backfield with this quarterback, Bestie. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Yankton operating from the left hash. Eisnes goes in a speed motion left to right. All that's window dressing for a handoff up the gut, and Jason Sedlacek inside the 10 now. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. The Bucks knocking on the door of another touchdown with just over 7 to go.
Yeah, and we talk about how sometimes over these broadcasts, football is a simple game. Sometimes when you need a yard, you just go get a yard, hand it off to your big running back there. You get the first down and keep the drive alive.
And Jason Sedlacek's never been a guy who's afraid of contact out there. Plays hockey in the winter. I believe in his JV days also lined up at linebackers. Another handoff to Sedlacek up the gut. Not as much success on this one as he is brought down by Carter Brown. Gain of 1, maybe 1.5. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, kind of almost a counter play there. Just not much to gain on that. Only about a yard or so, like you said, on that play.
Looks like they got the ball spotted between the 6 and the 7.
Don't do it.
Younger generation is going to have a field day with that one. Shotgun formation here for Bestie. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Sedlacek on his left hip pocket. Edley Amaro, the H-back. And it's another handoff to Sedlacek. Plunging forward. Tries to stiff arm a defender, but he's brought down at about the 5.5-yard line. So it's been tough sledding here with goal to go. But Yankton, the bright side of this, Josh, and I think what the coaching staff is really thinking about, they have that 3, in their opinion, in their back pocket to go up 20. Just take as much time off the clock as you can, as we're now under the 6-minute mark here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and what's big about the 3 is if you go up 20, that takes away 2 touchdowns and a field goal for T, right, in this situation. I know clock's kind of running as well. That's the other key component of this. But, yeah, Yankton, I think they're pretty content at whether they get 6 or 3 here.
Trips right. Boomsma goes in a short motion, still out on the right side of the formation. Bestie gonna throw here, looking to Boomsma at the pylon, in and out of his hands. Incomplete pass, and there's the Yankton offense making us eat our words immediately there, Josh, trying to go for 6, but a field goal would put them up 20. And 4th and goal. Now they're making us eat all of our words, Josh. Offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, and I thought they were throwing the ball there maybe to try to, you take your shot, then you kick the field goal. I don't know. Kind of interesting here. I think if you're going to go for it here, I think maybe running the ball on 3rd down again might have been right. But either way, Yankton going for it here on 4th and goal from the 6th.
High snap there. Bestie brings it down, looking near pylon here off the right side. Owen Isis into the end zone. What condiments do you like your words with, I guess, Josh, as Yankton's in for 6?
Yeah, and that's 11th touchdown on the season there for the senior receiver. He's been great. Catches it on the out right over to the pylon. And Yankton looking like they're going to walk away here with the victory. Now up 30-7 here in the 4th quarter.
Pending this extra point from Kevin Ortiz, the left-footed kicker. Soccer season wrapped up, so that's something that Brady Muth and Brady Hale have both mentioned to me. Ortiz now, with soccer season over, has been able to fully practice with the varsity program for the football team. His kick up and good. And from all I've heard, he's been a joy to have around practice as well. Let's take a look at that touchdown pass again on your Vision Care Associates replay. Bestie in the shotgun. We mentioned it. It was a high snap initially, but Eisnes beats his man to the near pylon on the right side and brings it in. That's just great separation there for Eisnes. We've seen it all year long. We've mentioned it. Double figures on the season in receiving touchdowns. Yankton now leads 31-7. Scoreboard update from SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
Yeah, and big drive there from Yankton. You get the ball after going for it on 4th down for T. You need to get some points here. Haven't really gotten a ton going on offense in the second half. You put together a nice drive there, a couple nice runs, get the pass on 4th and goal, and all of a sudden, once again, looks like you kind of put this game on ice, up 24 here with 5.5 to play.
Looks like Lucas Randall going to be back deep again. We mentioned it earlier on. I think it was the last kickoff. Notice that Randall was the lone deep man back there for T. Trying to get more blockers out in front of him here. Right around 5:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Yankton leads 31-7. Liam Villanueva wants a good kick here. Try to pin the Titans deep in their own territory. Villanueva now starts his run up. He'll boot it away from the 40. This one, a bit of a higher kick, and Randall is going to let it bounce at the 7, and it sticks inside the 10. Randall goes back and gets it now. Tries to follow some blockers. Kylan O'Connor's there to bring him down. We've talked about it all season long, Josh. Two guys really stand out on this kick coverage team. Kylan O'Connor is one of them. Jolton Remnitz-Hahn the other.
Yeah, those two are special teams aces, absolute studs back there. But we saw something similar last week, right? You know, you look at it playing Brookings, opening kickoff, one that the returner just kind of thought was going to the back of the end zone, but just kind of goes high and stops. Liam's done that now back-to-back weeks, and now up here, back in their deep in their own end of the field here, down 24.
Yeah, the Titans 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line, it appears. Two receivers left, two receivers right. Lowry's got to work out of the shotgun. Quick fire pass left side, almost intercepted. No, I thought Drossman knocked that one away. It was brought in. Great catch there out on the flat there by Bonenberger.
Yeah, what could have been an interception there turns into a 4-yard gain there. Good focus on that catch and makes the play. Even though not much on that, still, like you said, better. He'll take the 3-yard catch over the interception, obviously.
Well, chicken salad's better than you get the rest. Here's the belt high snap. Lowry again looking deep down the left side. He fit that one into a pretty tight window. 1st and 10 T. Good little pitch and catch there brought in by Cameron Hillestad. He's the kicker, but he's also the sophomore wide receiver for this T area squad.
Yeah, and he was falling backwards on that one, able to concentrate and bring that catch in for a nice gain.
1st and 10 Titans from their own 34-yard line. And a flag is going to fly, blowing the play dead. And it looks like a false start is what's being signaled by the near side referee. And we get that from the white hat now to confirm.
5-yard penalty, second out.
Yeah, another penalty here on the Titan offense. And it hasn't necessarily, if we talk about, been those holdings or anything like that. It's been those pre-snap penalties, the false starts, illegal formations, things like that have kind of put a hold on what this offense has been able to do. Because if you look at the yards totals, I'm guaranteeing once we see at the end of this, we're going to be rather impressed with what T's done yardage-wise. Just those penalties have kind of killed what the offense is doing.
In case it was picked up over our crowd mic, the official did say 2nd down. It's still 1st down. Going deep down the left sideline. Hillestad, he's got it brought in. He's wrapped up and brought down by Miles Drotzman. And Drotzman traditionally has been the shutdown corner this year for Yankton, but Hillestad has had his number a couple times on this drive.
Yeah, and we do have a penalty down at about the T39.
Good catch there, Josh.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is, and I think this is coming back, Brayden. I think this is coming back. I think you might get some kind of offensive pass interference or maybe a lineman downfield or something. Here's they're walking back.
They are signaling going back the other way. Hillestad pleading his case. He's been impressive in this fourth quarter.
Offense, number 5.
Is a offensive pass interference. It's not against Hillestad who caught it. It goes against Caden Bonenberger, the senior.
Yeah, I wonder maybe if we went back and looked at it, I'm not sure. Maybe
there might have been a pick play or something on the edge.
Like that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking maybe on that. But now, our 1st and a country mile here for T with that penalty.
Bright side, it's 1st down. Not so bright side. I don't even know how many yards you need. I can't do that quick a math. Lowry fakes the quick pass, now going deep downfield. Tegan LaCroix almost brought it in, and now Hillestad's asking for a flag downfield. He felt like he was being hindered by Miles Drotzman down that sideline, and that's the thing where there's been, there's hand fighting deep. If the referees deem that both guys are kind of initiating it, they let those plays kind of go.
Yeah, they do, and there haven't been a ton of those calls tonight. Maybe a few, but nothing too... or not too many of those, but yeah, I can see the frustration. Drotzman, very good corner. He likes to play tight, understandably, out there, and you saw it once again there, but forces the incompletion.
2nd down from their own 14 for T. They need to get to the 34. Check that. They need to get to the 44. 2nd and 30. Lowry's going to let this one go deep again. He's looking for Wiebenga, tries to come back to the ball. Cale Hazelhorst is there to knock it away, and Hazelhorst Might have landed a little awkwardly. He was grabbing at his right ankle as he was getting back to his feet, but he seems to be okay. 3rd and 30 after that pass breakup. And with just over 4 minutes to play, Josh, it feels like the entire game rides on this 3rd down.
Yeah, and good job there by the senior safety, Cale Hazelhorst. Weaving is a big kid, 6'4". They're just trying to throw it up here on 3rd and 30, or on 2nd and 30. They're trying to see what can happen. Cale did a good job sticking with it there and breaking up the pass.
Covering multiple sports here. Basketball season, Weaving is a name that I think is going to stick out in the basketball season, if I remember right from last year as well. He uses that frame very well. A flag is down on the far sideline.
Sideline warning.
And that's kind of weird.
Just a sideline warning.
Sideline warning out on T. It's like Coach Fry out there having a conversation or something. Wants an explanation maybe on that 2nd down play. Might be what he's asking about potentially, but they're going to take a timeout here either way and talk about this 3rd and 30.
Timeouts are brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Be wiser and go with Kaiser. That's Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. Just over 4 to play. Yankton leads 31-7. We're back in 30 seconds with your 3rd down play at Crane Youngworth Field.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Third and 30 here for the Titans. Goal has to be just to get as many yards as you can. You'd love a 1st down in one play, but down 31-7 with just over 4 to play in the 4th quarter. It is 4-down territory for T area. And they might need to get to T for the 1st down. Chest high snap for Lowry here. Looking left side. Lets one go down the field. 2 receivers down there. 2 bucks as well. Tegan LaCroix secures the pick. And if Yankton has their way, secures the victory potentially. Still 4 minutes to go. But Yankton up 31-7 and now in possession of the ball at the T47.
Yeah, and Lowry just trying to make something happen on that. Throws up a prayer. And Tegan LaCroix comes down with his 2nd interception of the evening.
Let's watch that again in your Vision Care Associates replay. Lowry loads this one up and lets it go a long way. There's a couple receivers downfield. Saw Hillestad down there, one of the intended targets, as well as Bonenberger. But Bonenberger got kind of tangled up with the defensive back there too. Could have been a flag thrown there. I think he wanted one. Handoff up the middle for Sedlacek. Gain of 3 on the play, and a flag flies late. We'll see what this is about. I think they're going to officially give them 4, but they might be marching that back.
Yeah, I think you're getting a holding here on the Bucks. Kind of a late call on that, but anyway, it looks like Yankton's going to be marching backwards on this one.
They are moving that ball back. It would bring up 1st and 20 for the Bucks, and it feels like neither team's started with a 1st and 10 at all tonight.
Offense number 65.
There's illegal use of hands on the offense. It goes against number 65. That's the center, Ben Bowman, the junior. One of the pieces of this offensive line that will be coming back next year.
Yeah, really the lone part of that starting offensive line, Brayden, that'll be back next year looking at it. Other than that, seniors across the board.
Shotgun formation here for Bestie. Sedlacek takes the handoff on 1st and 20. Plunges into the heart of the T defense and rumbles forward for quite a few yards there. They might give him about 6. Should bring up 2nd and 14.
Number 24, Emmett DeGeest.
Emmett DeGeest credited with the tackle there. We talked about him coming in as a sophomore. One of the team leaders in tackles for this Titans squad. So a bright future there for DeGeest, the young T area player.
Yeah, nice little run there as well, we should mention, from Sedlacek to get some of those yards back. But right now it's just about running that clock. We're at the game up 24, about 3 to play. Right now it's just about running that clock and getting out of here with a victory.
Under 5 seconds on the play clock here. Bestie takes the snap. Another handoff to Sedlacek off the right side. Tackled in the backfield. That's Carter Brown getting back there, the senior making a big play, loss of a couple. Now 3rd and long for the Bucks. And if they have it their way, they're not going to give the ball back to T until there's under 2 minutes on the clock. So I'd expect another run here even with 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think same thing. That's the right call. Just keep that clock running and try to get out of here as quick as you can. But yeah, Yankton here. Now Tate walking over to the sideline, kind of trying to figure out what the play call is, communicate with his coaches on the sideline.
They didn't go to more of their, I don't know, his NASCAR package. Does it work on offense? They don't really have any power guys out there. Boomsma's going to go in motion. It's going to be a pop pass to Boomsma, just trying to get something going down that right side. And Boomsma goes out of bounds. And that's something where you'd like Boomsma to stay inbounds there to keep the clock running if you're Yankton.
Yeah, and that's something they did last week as well against Brookings towards the end of the game. And at this point, I think running the clock is key, but this week not as critical of a situation. But yeah, that's the second week in a row where we've seen a jet sweep or a pop pass in that situation where stepped out of bounds. You could just be running some clock maybe a little bit.
Yankton leads 31-7 here in the 4th quarter of play. We're nearing the 2-minute mark. Liam Villanueva on to punt. 2 returners back deep. Hillestad is one of them. It's Cameron Hillestad and Devin Rhodes, the other, the freshman. And Villanueva takes his time on that punt, lets his team get downfield, and a sky punt bounces near the 20 and goes out of bounds. We'll see if it is pinned inside the 20 here, but not kind field position for the Titans to get things going here. 1st and 10 with just over 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, just over 2 to play, and a frustrating night for T where you look at it, they had a ton of yards, but the penalties and the turnovers just ended up killing this T offense. 5 turnovers, and I believe 4 interceptions and a fumble. Just really put T in a tough spot kind of behind the 8 ball this evening.
That fumble was returned for 6 as well. Shotgun set. Not going quietly into the night of the Titans. A little quick slant out to Hillestad near the 30-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. Puts them at their own 31 for 2nd and 4.
Yeah, a little quick hitter there, like you said, kind of in the middle of the field there. Just get a few yards to start the drive.
Shotgun again here for Lowry. Another quick hitter out to left side, but that one's knocked down to the line of scrimmage. I think that was Talon Kenny. It would be the 2nd time tonight if it was him to get a paw up there and knock it away.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that was Kenny, and he did a good job of getting his hands up, and we've talked about that throughout this game. If you can't get through, try to put your hands up and make a play, and Kenny did that there on that 2nd down pass.
Under 2 minutes to play, 3rd and 4 here for the Titans. Clock did stop on the incompletion. Looks like Lowry's going to go under center here. I believe that is 25 behind him. It'd be Carter Brown lined up as a fullback here, and it's going to be a handoff to Brown up the middle. He's going to get to the line again and get the 1st down at the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10 T from their own 40, 60 yards away from the end zone. We're closing in on the 90-second mark. The clock stops while the sticks move, but once those chains get set, clock moving again.
Yeah, good fight there from Brown. Finds the chains and keeps this drive going.
2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Yeah, it looks like they're going to set the clock to 90 seconds and now roll it. Clock operator might have got it rolled a little quickly there. Chest high snap to Lowry, looking left side. Quick out of the break there. Hit his receiver almost perfectly on the timing route out there, but Bonenberger wasn't able to bring it in. That's one of those things, those timing routes, sometimes if your head's not around at the drop of a hat, it can come up on you pretty quick.
Yeah, just not able to connect. I think the pass might have actually been a little low on that, but either way, got to come up with it now. Like you said, just not able to connect on that and looking at a 2nd and long here.
Got a lot of respect for T here, still fighting. You're down 31-7. There's about a minute 20 to play, right around there. We've seen teams in this situation before just take knees and go home. T not likely to do that. They fire quick out to Randall off the left side. He gets out of bounds, gain of a couple. Brings up 3rd down. They're going to say they give him about 4 before he stepped out, so 3rd and 6.
Yeah, stepped out there after a quick gain, and now, like you said, 3rd and about medium here for this T offense.
It is a 3-score differential right now. 24-point lead for the Bucks. 31-7. Just over a minute to play. Lowry, low snap, but able to dig it out from his knees. Goes downfield again, looking for Randall, incomplete. 4th and 6 now for the Titans. And what potentially could be the last true offensive play of the game if Yankton comes up with a stop here. You got to assume it's victory formation for the Bucs on the other end.
Yeah, you think so. So now at this point, if you're TC, if you can get the first down and keep this game going a little longer, gotta dial up something here, maybe Weebinga or something like that here on 4th to try to keep it alive.
Titans break the huddle here, and going under center will be Lowry. Deep back behind him, and fullback is Brown. And it will be a handoff to Brown, trying to find some space off the right side. Fumble on the play, recovered by Jacob Bivens. And Bivens might have been the one that forced it, too. If we can go back and look at this one, your Vision Care Associates replay, it wouldn't have been enough for a first down anyway, but that should do it here at Crane Youngworth Field, 31-7. Yankton with a big win over T. Let's look back at that play now, that fumble, see who forced it out. Just trying to go off the right side here. And it looks like a combination. Bivens is the one who ripped it out. So a forced fumble for Jake Bivens, and then the recovery as well for the senior on senior night. We do see victory formation here for the Bucs as we come back live. And Bestie takes a knee. He'll have to take one more knee to officially get the clock to all zeros. Coach Fry for T has 2 timeouts. He's not taking them, as Yankton's going to win 31-7 here on senior night.
Yeah, just let this one drop under 40, take that last knee, and get out of here. The Bucs with a big victory we needed. We talked about what this could do for them in the standings that they were able to win. Now looking like they had the inside track to that 2 seed, or at least one of those top 2 seeds, if they're able to beat Mitchell next week. But first, you had to take care of business against T, and they do that here tonight in a big win.
1 game remains in the regular season. We're on the road at Mitchell next week as Yankton concludes things with the Colonels. A top 2 seed is the goal for the Bucs. It would give them hosting rights all the way to a potential state championship in Vermilion. Your final score from Crane Youngworth Field: Yankton 31, T Area 7 here on KYNT and KYN-TV. We're going to take a quick break, come back in 3 minutes, and get things rolling in your post-game report brought to you by the Move Group. Are you buying or selling? Move with Mason and the Move Group. Back in 3 minutes as Yankton gets the win on senior night.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, now through November 11th, along with Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome, or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
In Yankton, community means everything, and at Wilson Trailer, it's the heart of what they do. They're more than manufacturers, they're your neighbors. From sponsoring the Bucks and Gazelles to supporting the next generation of farmers and builders, they're proud to give back to the place they call home. For over a century, Wilson Trailer has stood strong, steady, and rooted in community. Because when Yankton thrives, we all move forward. Wilson Trailer in Yankton. Learn more at wilsontrailer.com.
Are you on track to retire? I'm Adam Boelter, a certified financial planner with Vantage Financial, born and raised in Yankton, South Dakota. My team and I pride ourselves on building trust through clear, honest advice tailored to your unique goals. From retirement planning to smart tax strategies, we'll create a personalized plan to help you feel confident and secure about your financial future. Visit vfplanning.com or search Adam Boelter, Vantage Financial, to schedule a 15-minute call today.
Vantage Financial Partners is a registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of Vantage by the SEC, nor does it indicate that Vantage has attained a particular level of skill or ability.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
At Mead Lumber of Yankton, we're more than building materials. We're your partner in every project. From your first sketch to your final nail, we're here with expert advice, quality products, and hometown service you can count on. For over 100 years, we've been proud to build homes, businesses, and dreams with you right here in our community. Stop in and see what makes Mead Lumber the trusted name in building. Mead Lumber of Yankton, helping you build, helping you grow, from design to finish.
Welcome back in here on KYNT, KYN-TV. It's your post-game report brought to you by the Move Group. Are you buying or selling? Move with Mason and the Move Group. It's time for your post-game stat recap brought to you by Mayor Signs. They offer all types of signage there at 4th and Broadway in Yankton. Josh, we kind of talked about in the fourth quarter. You said that this total yardage is going to look closer than people might expect with the final score, and that is the case. 353 yards of total offense for Yankton. Great day on the offensive department for them, but 314 for T, 231 on the ground, 83 through the air for the Titans. The Bucks come up with 290 yards passing and 63 yards as a team on the ground.
Yeah, and the difference there is the turnovers, Brayden. There was a scoop and score for a touchdown, and then it was, of course, the interception at the beginning of the first half that put Yankton inside the 9-yard line that led to points there. The difference was the turnovers in that Yankton defense. Even though they gave up some big yards, they were still able to be opportunistic and make some plays when they needed to.
And the numbers, like we were saying, closer than people may expect with a 31-7 scoreline, but I bet if you ask either coach, the only number they care about is the one. Well, there's two numbers they care about. The one's on the scoreboard at the end of the game and the one in the win column at the end of the game as well. Yankton comes out on top today, 31-7. Let's crown your players of the game here. Your offensive player of the game brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Carter Boomsma deserves his love today. 4 catches for him, 119 yards, a long of 72 on a deep bomb, and a touchdown for him as well. A great day for the wide receiver.
Yeah, had those 2 really big catches in the first half. Obviously, the big 72-yard touchdown in there, and had a really nice day, showed off his speed, and was able to make some big plays.
Yeah, he kind of changed the whole T defense. T came out, wanted to play press man coverage. They had 2 deep bombs to Boomsma and said, we got to back off. He's one of the fastest guys in the state. Edley Amaro, he's going to be your defensive player of the game, brought to you by Olson's Pest Technicians. Your residential and commercial pest control solution. Call 1-800-KIL-BUGS. Edley credited with 8 tackles, 3 of them for loss, 5 unassisted. He was a game wrecker again today.
Yeah, sometimes, being an edge and going against the run game, it can be a little difficult, but, he was able to make some plays, blew up a couple drives, especially on some, early first downs, too, that, like I said, just completely killed a couple drives there, and I thought he was really, really good tonight.
Got to give a shout-out to Madden McQuaid as well. He gets credited with 10 tackles at the end of the day and half a tackle for loss. Played well. It feels like we've called his name less and less since Easton Feeser came back, but a rotation of linebackers today is what you're going to need against a heavy run team. He played very well, as did this Yankton defense, only giving up 7 points. Let's go to your post-game coach interview now, brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. We bring in the offensive coordinator, Terry Huber, here to talk in our post-game coach interview. And Coach Huber, offense, numbers-wise, back up and running as we've seen early on in the season. Tate ends up with 290 yards passing, over 300 yards of total offense as a team. How are you feeling coming off the sideline with a big win there, a statement here late in the season?
Yeah, the guys, they kind of took it personal the last 2 weeks on offense, how we were playing, and they were very locked in this week. And, all game long, I didn't have to pep them up. I didn't have to ask them to get in the game. They were ready to go. They were locked in. This is a very strong physical T defense, and we knew coming in that they were going to be one of the toughest defenses that we played this year. So for our guys to come out and play the way they did, I'm extremely proud of them. They took it upon themselves to go out and take this one tonight.
There was a point in the first half, Coach, where I think even at halftime, Josh and I might have joked, it'd be the first game we don't ask you about Owen Isnes in the postgame. Well, he still ends up leading the team in catches with 67 yards and a touchdown. 0, it feels like, is always going to get his, but Carter Boomsma was the star in the first half, 119 yards and a 72-yard touchdown catch for him. Your receiving core across the board really felt like it was spreading out and getting big plays tonight.
Absolutely. When just hearing all that, it just makes me smile, because I love that group of guys. There's so much power have all of them. They all have unique skills, and they bracketed Owen right away, so we knew what was going to happen. Like they're leaving him open, and then when they went 1 yard off press man on Carter, well, that's an easy read right there for Tate. You get that kid the ball because he's fast. He's real fast and he has good hands. So I was very very proud of how Carter came out and played. He was excited. He was having fun all week, and he was ready for the moment. Owen, he still went out and fought a lot. I mean, he's in double coverage, getting a couple of those balls, and they were needed too. And so, big plays by him. I thought Kale across the middle, he had a great night. Just being that guy, he was readily available for us. Coming off of a little bit of a slow start, I thought that he had a really good game as well. And then Abel Bryant, having him back is huge. Having Tegan in the rotation with Abe, that's big. But having those guys available, our depth is getting back to where it needs after a few injuries this year.
I want to talk to you specifically about Carter. You mentioned press man coverage about a yard off the line of scrimmage on him. Had to feel like a kid in a candy store in that moment. Was there any communication between the coaches in the headset of watch this, guys, because it's about to be something here?
100%. It was just it's front side, back side, where we're going, and then he started at 10 and moved up to 5, and then I'm like, well, he's got him beat on these few routes, talking to the coaches. And then he went press 1 and is okay. Well, we know exactly what's happening here, And if it doesn't happen, then I guess Tate and I aren't on the same page like I normally think we are. But it's exactly where we were. It's really fun to see that kind of stuff happen.
Yeah, and Coach, 6 total turnovers on the defensive side of the football tonight, but really 2 big ones. We talked about the scoop and score for the fumble, and then of course the pick by Carter there at the beginning of the second half. How much easier does that make it on you? Take some pressure off of what you want to do offensively when you have the defense that one is not only forcing turnovers, but is either scoring or maybe putting you guys in some really good spots on the field when you get inside the 10 there.
Yeah, it's huge. The confidence that we have in the defense and the special teams is higher than I think anywhere else in the state. Those guys, we take a lot of pride in that here. We make sure that we have all 3 facets of the game ready to go, and that makes it so much easier on us when we get that momentum builder, that interception, that return for the score. Some people are like, oh, it's got to be a bummer you're not scoring. No, that's the most selfish thing I could hear, because I don't care. I want these guys to be successful, and Feeser made a great play right there, and to be able to scoop and score right there, that's huge, because there were guys around him, and he made a great play. For Carter to get that pick is huge. Turnovers throughout the game are massive, and so I highly encourage some of our guys to just understand that it's a full team effort. And so if we look at, I didn't get that touchdown or I didn't do this, well, then that's the wrong mentality going into it. And I think as coaches, we've talked to these players enough to where they understand that it's going to take everybody, and we kind of remind them it's not necessarily the 1s and the 2s, but it's 3s and the 4s that have to be able to come in there and play. Well, it's not just the offense, but it's the defense. It's the special teams. We got to be able to have all 3 sides of the football to win. Otherwise, we put ourselves in a terrible position. So I think we did a great job tonight on all 3 sides of the ball.
Yeah, and once again, you just talk about the offense and where things at. Almost 300 yards passing tonight once again. How does it feel for you when you go in with a game plan, and this is something that Coach Muth talked to us about the week, wanted to attack vertically. How does it feel afterwards being able to look at that and be like, yep, we had that right, and nailed that idea in that plan?
It is really fun. We put in a lot of time, more time than probably some people really understand. And that's not just coaches, but the players as well. They're watching film all the time. I got guys sending me messages. What do you think about his first move, his counter move? What do you think about if they're shading their one high safety over to the right and on this formation, whatever it is? So the guys they're putting a lot of time, and we as coaches are too. And to be honest, coming into this, they've been running a 4-4 defense for most of the season. Last year they were doing the same thing and came out in the 3 front against us. So in the back of our mind, we know that the options are there. They could be doing multiple different things, and we just got to be prepared for it. And I think keeping it simple and fast helps our guys to understand that, what we drew up in the script is one thing, and we're still going to go with those plays, but you have to be ready for the adjustments. And that's where our guys, I think, thrive the most, is they roll with the punches. They understand the adjustments are necessary to win a football game. You can't just go out there. The circles on the script, they move on the field. And so for those guys to understand that and make the adjustments, it's huge for us as coaches. It makes our job a lot easier.
Coach, we'll talk about next week with Mitchell tomorrow morning on the Coaches Show, because my final question for you today has something to do with what we're seeing on the field right now. This is a large senior class. They're taking their final walk across the field here at Crane Youngworth Field. It is senior night. This is a tradition that I've come to love watching this team the last couple of years. So what has this senior class meant to you? A lot of guys who had to wait their turn, but they've been shining here in their senior year.
You know, it's an extremely special moment. Anybody who's been on Crane and has been a Buck football player and graduated from here, they understand just how much this means. You know, you're out there, you're joking around, you're having fun, but you understand that this could potentially be the last time that you're on this field. And, you know, it's a big deal. These guys have worked so hard to get to this point, and they deserve this. They deserve every single bit of the recognition. These seniors are phenomenal leaders. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys. You know, there's a lot of them, and I absolutely love it. You know, I see them up here. You know, they're looking up right now, and I just, you know, it almost brings a guy to tears because just how proud he is of those guys.
Well, thank you, Coach, for taking the time to come up and talk today. We'll talk again tomorrow morning on the Coaches Show. Congratulations on the big win.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much, and go Bucks.
That was offensive coordinator Terry Huber here on KYNC and KYN TV. We're going to come back in 1 minute and wrap things up from Crane Youngworth Field.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tycro in Yankton today.
The perfect place to get together with friends and family and watch the game and enjoy some of the best wings in town is Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Checkers is open every day, and on Monday nights, the action gets even better. Cheer on Monday Night Football with $6 cheeseburgers and fries, plus play bingo and your chance to win great prizes. From mouth-watering wings to juicy burgers and stacked sandwiches, Checkers Sports Bar and Grill is Yankton's favorite destination for food, friends, and game day fun. Your game days belong at Checkers.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYN-TV. The Bucks improved to 6-2 with a 31-7 win over T area. The Titans fall to 5-3. We'll see how that shakes up the standings in the coming days, but let's look at your scoreboard from around Class 11 AA. Your out-of-town scoreboard from Top Notch Window Cleaners. Window cleaning for commercial or residential. Let Top Notch Window Cleaning brighten your days. Josh, what's it looking like around 11 AA?
Yeah, take a look here. Top 5 matchup right now. The other one in this class in the top 5 tonight. It's Pierre at Spearfish. That game, Pierre just got a field goal at the end of the first half. It's just getting to halftime, we should mention. That game, 21-7 Spearfish out there. Other game active right now, number 2 Sioux Falls Lincoln 11 AAA. They're playing Aberdeen. That game's 58-14, 10 left in the fourth quarter. Final scores here. Number 1 Huron defeats Mitchell 27-3. Brookings over Douglas 59-8. Then Watertown picks up a W 29-15 over Sturgis.
A big week here, and it's a Sturgis team that funny you mentioned that Sturgis score thing. That's a Sturgis team that was riding high after a win over the Bucks a few weeks ago, and now back-to-back losses for them. That shows you just how competitive this class is, top to bottom in 11 AA. Should be fun as we wrap up the regular season next week out at Mitchell. That's your schedule preview brought to you by Parker Hannafin of Yankton. Look ahead to a brighter future with a new career at Parker of Yankton. All benefits begin day 1. Learn more at parker.com. Mitchell on the road next week, Josh. One of the shorter trips we have, so it's always nice when we hit the road, and potentially the last road trip of the season, depending on how things shake out. Yankton entering today was a 2 seed, a big win over a team up in the standings. That's going to help your seed points. So it looks like Yankton in line for potentially a top 2 spot.
Yeah, and that's the key. You want to get one of those top 2 spots. It doesn't really matter who you play, right? At the end of the day, if you can be home, going all the way to the Dome, that's huge. And Yankton, I think as long as they're able to get a victory next week against Mitchell, look well on their way to doing that. And this was big. We saw after Sturgis, you're like, okay, maybe they're in trouble. Maybe they're not going to be home throughout the playoffs. And all of a sudden they rattle off big wins against Brookings and T and look right to be back in that spot where as long as they can take care of business next week, they should be in a really good standing to have a couple home games in the playoffs potentially.
Final score, 31-7, Yankton over T area here at Crane Youngworth Field on senior night. And Josh, I want to apologize here because I'm going to go on a bit of a side tangent, but I've this week having a lot on my mind about stuff, and I just want to say something. We're coming up on a year since my grandmother passed away, and that's kind of been affecting me emotionally as of late. So I just want to advocate for go out and call somebody that you care about, whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow morning, because calling my grandma after games like this was always some of the most fun. First of all, even if she had no connection to the team, they were her boys, any call the referee made against her team was cheating. And it was always fun to talk to my grandma Lou about sports, whether it's something I was covering or just a fan, whatever team she was rooting for that week. It was always fun. She'd always end the conversation with, we'll talk at you later. I can't wait to hear that again someday. So if you got somebody you're close to, you haven't talked to in a while, reach out and call them, because it's really important. That's just been on my mind this week. But sorry for getting on a soapbox. Sorry for being a bit of a downer at the end of a big win. But Yankton comes out on top, 31-7 over the T Area Titans. 6-2 now are the Bucks heading into the regular season finale. And Josh, I know like I said, I kind of made it down moment. But do you have any final thoughts heading into the final week of the season?
Yeah, look, a good team win. There were some points where the offense had some big plays and got off to a hot start. And there's some moments where maybe they were kind of struggling a little bit, and the defense picked them up. Special teams picked them up, things like that, and helped each other out and got a victory that they needed to get here, where now they're looking, at least, like I said, as long as they can take care of business against Mitchell, like they're in a good spot. But, a great win for Yankton tonight, and looking like one of the best teams in 11AA, and now we'll see at the regular season finale next week on the road in Mitchell. On a Thursday, we should note, on a Thursday with some things going on. So mark your calendars. We'll see you next Thursday night.
Next Thursday night at Joe Quinto Field in Mitchell. Big thank you to all of our sponsors and our listeners for helping make this broadcast possible. Big thank you to Grady Harrington, our studio technician back at KYNT Studios. Make sure everything runs correctly. Cooper Kanthick on scoreboard today. Abby Saylor on camera. All the moving parts that help make this broadcast possible on KYNT and KYNTV. Bucks improved to 6-2 with a 31-7 win over the T Area Titans. We're back next Thursday in Mitchell for the regular season finale. Until then, stay safe, be good people. We'll talk at you later. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.